You are now listening to the Beardy Bros Podcast.
He missed out on the extraordinary entertainment.
Yeah, we had Nick Cage on before, man.
Bro, you just missed it. You had to quickly run off.
Yeah.
What's up, my dude?
Oh, much, mate.
Oh, the
Yeah.
subtle plug of the Bogan Yack just behind him.
But it's
That's pretty
fucking
cool, though.
shit 'cause Discord fucking flips it.
Oh,
No,
yeah, true.
for me, it's the right way around, so that's good.
Oh,
yeah.
fuck yeah. That's
Yeah,
lit.
here it says Bogan Yack, so it's the same
Yeah.
on my end.
It's just yourself from like your own camera is flipped.
On mine,
That-
yeah,
know
it looks
why.
like Russian.
That mask made my head go fucking weird.
So yeah, we
That's
had a short appearance
Did you
from
see
Rey
my
Mysterio.
face? Got you all fuzzy, didn't it?
It's got
Job
I'm
well
gonna put weird because I actually put it through, so it like came out, so it looked. God dang it! I guess before
Wish I
that,
had a fucking beard. Fuck you guys.
uh,
that's so
Have
good,
you
man.
started yet? Or you
no,
fucking
we
haven't?
Yeah,
will just fart
I
off.
mean, yes and no.
Yes and no. It's the pre-clip
beard.
stuff.
It's gonna piss me off now. Fuck.
We got some
So
pre-scenes.
you haven't said like, welcome back to the Beardy Bros Podcast.
No, we haven't done that yet. So you're you're here for
but
it, man.
You just did
You
it.
just did it. I think we're all set, aren't we? We're all good to go.
I'm
Yeah,
good
boy.
to go. I got my fucking port.
Everyone's got their
I'm set.
hydrations. Hey, Reed's definitely set. Here to that, and here's my little subtle plug because we haven't really fully plugged it for a while. Cyberpunk.
Is that? Oh, yeah. Actually, it has been a while since you mentioned Cyberpunk, which is pretty impressive to the Beardy Bros podcast.
couple of weeks.
haven't been able to have it in eyes view. It's buried away behind all my pops, which you can't really see, so no one can really see much behind me. So there's little things people can kind of see, maybe not really. If there's any, I need to start planting more Easter eggs around the set again, around the behind me and stuff for people to find. But
I was about to read out your message just then to Judde.
he said stop having a wank.
Oh. That's why I'm wearing my hoodie. It's like oversized, so you just won't tell.
That's what I was
Right?
saying. I was saying what he's going to do is he's wearing a hoodie because he's got nothing underneath. The hoodie just covers it up. He can sit there with no pants on, no shirt on, nothing. We wouldn't even know. None the wiser. Anything could happen.
That's it. And
But
I'm raw and ready to go. I finished work at 5 o'clock this morning and then drove straight to Melbourne.
yep.
And did the world's biggest jumping castle.
Oh, did you?
And, yeah. And then come home, had a sleep, and now I'm raw and ready to go.
Bro, so how
Nice
was
one.
that? Was it a good jumping castle?
Yeah, it was pretty sick. Like my daughter loved it.
Mm.
And we did there's one that was like 300 meters long, and it was like a big buddy obstacle course.
Mm.
Man, I was like going through, and I'd like turn the corner, and I was like, it keeps going, and I was rat shit because you're climbing over shit, and
Oh, that's
it just
fucking
kept going.
jeez.
Awesome.
My asthma's just like, hey, bro, we haven't got long left. You're about to go to the hospital. Like, come on, let's go.
You're gonna die.
They start fucking
Oh,
deflating on you.
Yeah, well, it started to get real windy, and
Oh.
I was like, hopefully this doesn't like take off and be like another fucking Tasmanian.
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
trouble. I was
Yeah, oh
like,
yeah.
I'm looking around the whole time, like it's pretty well
I'm
secured.
pretty sure
That's what
they're.
we can do,
I'm
right?
pretty sure they're like tent pegged down, so they don't go anywhere.
Being how
but-
big they
Yeah.
are, but still, imagine being on it and just next to it, one part just goes, just like scorpions on itself, and then you get launched out of it. You're either that fast at moving that you're stuck to the thing, or it's just gonna be like,
Or it gets
you just
slapped.
get fucking launched, and you go, yeah.
Well, the biggest one the one that was there, the biggest one had a DJ deck in the middle. So like you're jumping around and shit, and there's big chairs, and you're like, yeah, it's pretty sick. And there's just a DJ in the middle, just busting tunes and shit. And I was like, this thing will weigh fucking probably like a ton and a half. And then there was sold out tickets, so there was fucking I don't know 60, 70 people on it for that
Damn,
hour.
son.
So I don't think it was gonna go anywhere somehow.
Yeah.
I don't think so because I think they're weighted down a fair bit as well.
They usually
Yeah,
are.
they
They
got
got like
big
all the.
thick ropes and shit, and I was like, yeah, it ain't going anywhere.
Usually a lot of the fans as well. They're pretty weighted as well. 'Cause
Yeah,
They've got to have
well,
a lot of
The worst bit that creeped me the fuck out, right? We get there and like walk through the gates, and it had been raining last night, so Flemington Racecourse was like muddy and shit.
Yep.
And you're not allowed to wear shoes on there, and people were just walking around in like
Shoes
like socks, just through the mud and shit, and like through the water. It wasn't
still-
really muddy because it was nice grass, but it
Still
was
dirty.
just wet. And I was like, that's so cringe. And then I'm like, I'm not doing it. I'm like, fuck that. And then I was like, actually, I just drove 2 hours. So at the end of it, I'm just walking back to the car with my shoes in my hand, wet ass socks and
You're
that.
like, fuck it, you know, I'm here, let's just do it.
I had an
Yeah.
idea. You'd be like, Danny deck chair, how he had the balloons on his chair and flew. It'd be Johnny
Yeah.
Jumping Castle,
Take it off, just in the throne.
right? Did you see funny Johnny going through the air?
No,
Floating
my luck,
castle,
I'd be the
throne in the
first one
middle,
to
just
die.
sitting on it, strapped on the throne. Just
Right?
like, yep, and it's just floating around a little
He'd be on
castle.
the freaking DJ booth.
That'd be lit. It'd be like Up but better.
Yeah.
Right? Oh,
Disney would make a movie about me
oh. Yeah,
if I didn't die.
Float.
well. I don't know, did the other dude die? Who did that, like, in real life? He went
I
up
don't
with
think
a
so.
chair, I think, and
No,
balloons.
I think he was fine.
That's crazy, isn't
I'm
it?
pretty sure he had a slug gun and he was
Slowly-
popping balloons
yeah.
to come
They're
back
going down slowly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they popped
Yeah,
their...
but still, you got to get the right ones because I'm pretty sure that must be a certain order because you
Pops
couldn't
like
just.
all of them in
Yeah,
one
yeah, he's like...
Oh,
plug.
bit too many.
And that's the thing, like, it's like, how do you practice for that? It's like you're going up and you're like, pop one balloon, like you said, you could pop multiple and you just start dropping too quick and there's like nothing you can do about it.
Do you have
blow
a
balloons
parachute
out doing
though, just
nothing.
in case?
just blowing
I
up
don't
multiple
know.
balloons.
I got no idea.
You would have to, I'd imagine. Like,
I
I
would
mean,
just-
I've seen some pretty scary videos of people, like, just
So
having
parachutes
sails
could
and-
kill you. Like,
Yeah.
I-
Like that dude that
I-
parachutes with his bed and his bedside tables.
Yes!
And he's like, he just
He
like
made a
curls
big
up in
thing,
bed
and,
and
yeah,
has
and
a
he
sleep.
just that's the one. It's like see at the how like he didn't look like he was wearing anything either. Like
No, he wasn't. He
like,
did
no
no
s-
parachute.
like he's just
That's
flying through this.
right.
Yeah, it's like anything goes wrong, you're fucked. And I guess it's like fuck it. If it-
Legit, like, that thing could have tipped one way. He could have rolled out. Could have flipped over.
Oh, you'd hate to roll in your sleep.
Imagine waking up, like
Doosh.
falling in your
Waking
dream, waking up and realizing you're falling while you're
Oh,
awake.
fuck
This is
that.
the worst.
you just go with freaking sleep, you just pass the hell out.
Fuck. Man, I've
Nope.
had dreams like that, and it's fucking scary. When you like you have dreams where you're falling, and you wake the fuck up, and you're like, whoa, you know, and you still have that feeling you're falling. You're like, am I actually falling right now? You're like, no, I'm in my bed. It's fine.
You're like,
Bad
yeah,
enough
I've
when you
never
get that
been to the
jolt
Grand
before you go
Canyon
to
in my
sleep.
whole life, but I'm falling right now.
I hate that. Yeah, that jolt when you're like nodding off in your bed, and you're like,
I was like,
whoa, and
"Oh."
you're like, and you wake up, you're like, fuck, you're like, and you get like that massive jolt, and you're like, and your adrenaline's pumping through, and you're like, fuck, and you're like, did I have a mini nightmare, or like, am I fighting sleep? What's going on right now?
There's a thing for that though, like what it actually is, but I can't remember.
Yeah, I
it.
can't
I'm gonna
remember what it's
Google it.
called. but there
I
is
had
a
that
thing.
actually a couple of weeks. I think it was a couple of nights back or a couple of weeks. I can't remember now. But I had I usually fall asleep because I'm like on TikTok or something on my phone. And I did that where like I was actually holding onto my phone and I freaked out. I was like, oh, and I smacked myself in. I didn't drop my phone. I smacked my hand, came back and smacked myself in the head with the phone and gave myself a little bruise on the head. And I was like, what the fuck is this? I was like,
Absolutely.
oh shit. I was like, because usually like I'll drop the phone sometimes and it'll slap. You know that usually happens. But nah, if I can hold onto that thing clenched tight and just fucking whack in my face. I was like, God damn it!
It's just as bad as like fucking holding it above your head and dropping it on
Yeah.
yourself.
And, you're like, "Ah." And in that moment, time goes slow too, because you're there, and it's like a split second. But it's like feels like forever. And it's just fuck, because your hands are fumbling and you're trying to re-grab it. And it's just everything's happening. And you're like, no.
And it always gets you in that shit spot where it could like get like a bit of cartilage and be like nice
Yeah.
and soft, but it always gets you in like the temple or like it's just shit part of the eye or
Or you drop it and hit you in the chest because you like reflect to move it and it smacks you.
yeah.
Oh, in the chest or in the throat or something stupid because you're laying flat. And like,
I haven't been hit in the throat for a long time, but I know what it's like.
that's
That's
It's can't
bad,
fucking
isn't
breathe.
That, that happened in the before we go any further, I should do the intro.
You probably should, yeah.
What's up, Bearders and Beardettes? Welcome back to another fine episode of the motherfucking Beardy Bros Podcast. Before we get back into it, yeah. I was like, I better at least squeeze it in there before we... there was actually one episode I was going through where we got, I think it was with Wookiee, and we got distracted at, like, with the way we get into Wookiee, and we didn't have an intro at all. We just talked and we had no intro. We just went for it. We're like, oh fuck, I didn't even like correct it or anything. It was just like, no, okay. This is This is our fate.
That random
Well, it's always a
guy
different
from
intro,
overseas
so-
is just like, what am I listening to? Remember that guy that's just like from Albania or wherever he was from listening? Is this the Beardy Bros Podcast? I haven't said it is.
I don't know what this is. I don't know what show is this. I'm lost. I'm confused. I don't see the channel. What show am I watching? These guys just keep talking, but I don't know what it is. How am I supposed to recommend it? Ah! Oh, fuck.
But I did just find out what it is. It's to literally startle you out. It's to startle you out of falling asleep.
Okay, so it is like a fight.
Which is also apparently it happens before you die as well. So I was like,
They reckon your whole life flashes before your eyes when you're about
oh,
to
that
die.
fucking does when you do the jolt.
Yeah.
No, so
Well,
I
that's a
just
good
have
point,
jolts.
yeah.
I just get that jolt of like, fuck, I'm staying
And
awake.
you're like, your missus or someone, if you're sleeping next to someone, they're on their phone. They're just like, what the fuck? You're just like,
I
oh
actually
god, I
feel
thought
like
I
I've-
was dying.
My whole body focus just gone drop. Like it's just.
Yeah.
I just wake
It's
up
because-
like I'm fucking.
When you go, because it's like because that's when that usually happens as well. Because I think it's at the level of what you're in. You're hitting a deep sleep. You're about to go into
Yeah,
a
that's
deep
what
sleep.
the thing says.
Yeah, so
Mm.
when you're most time you can literally glide off into a sleep, but if you're going to like a deep REM sleep, but your body's in that awareness of that you're falling asleep, you'll go drop and then you'll wake back up because your body is aware that it's falling into sleep, but it's going too fast. So
Yeah.
I'll get that at least once a week. Like it's just bam, I'm fucking awake again. I'm like, ooh.
yeah, I mean it happens most nights for me because I'll be
That's
like,
weird.
I
Yeah,
think
your
I
body
think
can like do that.
and I think the biggest thing what might be causing it is because my biggest point I say, and it might be a common thing that's happening more and more for people too. I don't know if it is, but I feel like it could be because I find to me is I go to bed, but I'm distracted. I used to listen to stuff or watch, like I used to have a TV and I used to play that to distract myself. But now when I'm in bed, I've always got my phone, so I'm distracting myself, but I'm sitting there watching. You know, I'm like watching. But now you're falling asleep with something in your hand, so your hand's out, and I'm wondering whether in part take is because your body is relaxing, whether that's jolting you because your brain is like alert for the content, so you're still like with light and stuff like that. There's a thing where your brain absorbs the light and that keeps you awake as well. So
The
like
melatonin kind of thing. Like,
so like whether
when
it's
it
like
gets
a
dark,
delayed.
you start getting it. It just builds up.
Yeah, because your brain still absorbs that because you sit there scrolling away on TikTok or watching YouTube videos till like 3 a.m. kind of thing. And then your body's like, no, you need to finally shut down. You're like, and then you're like, fuck, because your brain's reproducing all that energy that you've absorbed and it re-loops back around, so it kicks you back awake and you're like, what the fuck? That's why I feel
That's
anyway.
why they say like no mobile or nothing TV for half an hour to an hour before you go to bed.
Yeah, that's right.
So
But
I try to...
what's
I
that,
don't. I don't listen to
What's
that.
that thing when you're laying in bed and you can't wake up and there's like demons coming at you?
paralysis?
Yeah,
Sleep paralysis?
Yeah, sleep paralysis. I've never had that, but that'd be fucking terrifying.
it would.
It's the same
Because
thing.
you can't move. Like you can't say
It's
anything.
the same thing of that. It's like, it's because when you sleep, your body goes into that stillness, and see, I've never, but like, that's what your body's like.
It's kind of like you
preserve
are
energy and
just
you're
like.
safe. But
It's like you are paralyzed. Like you just can't move.
Yeah,
because your body's
it's a
trying
safety
to.
thing. It's a safety thing, yeah. So when you go to sleep, that's why you don't. Sometimes people toss and turn, but you stay within that realm. That's why it's weird. Like that's why you don't have like sleepwalking. Like people will have sleepwalking, but it's because it's relation
That's
to
a bit
dream
different though.
leaking through. So it's like when you sleep, your body goes still to preserve your body from doing dangerous things. Basically, you know, it's to shut your body down so everything can relax and restore itself.
And
then,
reboot and.
basically, when you sleep paralysis, is your brain, everything's not syncing up at the right time. So you're waking up going, oh, I'm awake, but your body's still in sleep mode. So you're like, oh, fuck. So you're like, I can't move. Fuck, I'm in sleep paralysis. And you're in that weird realm of being awake and asleep. So you start seeing things because your brain is in dream mode still, but your eyes are clearly like, and you're like, oh, I'm awake. And such a fucking weird like spectrum to be that you're basically perceiving the dream world and the real world at the exact same time. You've literally got two realities like crossing over at the exact same time.
That's why sleepwalking is crazy. Like your brain's controlling your dream, but it's also literally doing what it does every day, walking to the kitchen or picking something
Yep.
up, or like it's aware of what you're actually doing, but it's sort of
But you can't control it though. Like
Yeah.
it's just you
And
don't
then-
even know what's happening.
And then you can be me, who does that's technically sleepwalk, but sleep tindered.
yes,
Oh,
it's-
sleep Tinder. That's hilarious.
Because at that time I had the dream where I was like dreaming about, like I had a conversation talking about
remember
Tinder
that
and trying to
episode.
explain it. Yeah, and then I woke up the next morning, I'm like, was that real? And then I look at my phone, I'm like, okay, it kind of felt like it was real. And I'm like, what? I mean, crazy shit fucking happens, but it's fucking weird. The mind is a weird fucking...
it's a powerful tool.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's... fucking-
Elon Musk is tapping into it. He loves it.
Big brain.
I suppose that's why you got Twitter, isn't it? Because you can get everyone's Oh,
Everyone's causing an uproar with that. It's crazy.
I know, people sound like, it's like...
People
It's-
deleting their accounts and shit. I'm like, if
I don't know. It's not a bad thing that he has it. It's probably a
No.
good thing.
yeah, he's gonna make freedom of speech way clearer and better, I reckon.
Mhm.
It's going back. We're going back to what freedom of speech should be. You
It's
know,
just
the
funny how
options-
someone blocked him because Elon blocked them, and they're like, he blocked me, and then he's like, he's against free speech. I'm like, no, he just doesn't want to see your stuff.
That's your free speech,
Yeah.
is to choose to block someone or not. Like that's
Yeah.
free. That's a
the
prison.
purpose of that button.
That
yeah,
is, like you can choose who you want to listen to or not. Like,
And that's it. Kind of made fun of the free speech of where we're in at the point now. Like that whole point of them complaining about Elon blocking them makes the point of what he's trying to prove with free speech is that, oh, you've blocked me. Oh, you should be cancelled because you're not approaching. No, that's the point of what he's trying to prove, and you're basically approving, like, his point that he's trying to explain, that it's just all nonsense.
Yeah, it's not
like,
a perfect world.
peop-
Suck
yeah.
it up.
you just
Like,
deal with
yeah.
it and just take it as what it is. Not people getting cancelled, not people, and that's because that would always happen. People get cancelled or accounts would get deleted because they're in this weird spot, and that's what Elon, I guess, he's going for. It's like, well, they can post what they want. If they're gonna get back, well, we're not gonna delete them from the service.
No.
It's up to them if they want to delete themselves off the system, you know. And that's basically what
Yeah.
he's going for. Like, is things like that. He's trying to bring things, which is like, why can't we have that again? Like, why are we so?
you reckon they put Trump back on there though?
Nah, Trump doesn't want to. He
No,
already
but-
put
yeah.
a statement out.
Yeah, but still, like he probably would eventually because you get more people there who actually listen.
He will for sure. He says he won't, but if he was to go for president again, he'll be back on there.
I mean, he was
That's
talking
how he
nonsense
starts all
anyway,
his
but
shit.
It's one of those things.
I heard
He
him
was-
talking about Vladimir Putin the other day, and he's like, they're asking him, what would you be doing in this current situation and that? And he's like, I'd be telling them right now that stop using the nuclear word, stop threatening it, and blah, 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 it's not okay, and all this shit. And I was just like,
word don't stop Putin. Jesus Christ!
nah,
Putin's
I'm
doing
like,
what
that's-
Putin's doing, but
yeah,
at least there'll
we've
be
literally, everyone's crumbled his economy, and he still doesn't give a fuck.
I've
Like,
heard
how do
nothing
you
about
stop
that
him?
for weeks now. Like
it
it's
started
crazy.
off again. It came in when it like needed to change, and then have you noticed though? Like it's kind of interesting that me going conspiracy weird nut job here, but like it's kind of funny where we were still at the peak of like the COVID kind of stuff, the COVID this, spicy cough that, and then next minute we're kind of in that weird point where we're kind of coming out of it, of the spicy cough era, and then next minute this thing just happened.
It's what's trending at
And
the
then it
moment.
trended.
Like, you know,
And then now that's died off, and then like the whole
Nothing.
just the
spicy
next
cough
thing, yeah.
trend thing is like not even really like it's still happening, but like people are like whatever now, we're done with that. Like
Yeah,
people have
that's
finally
right.
got
That's
like finally got no. It took another world event to happen for people to be like, no, we're actually done with that now. Let's just it is what it is. Like we're moved on from that. Like just keep going
the
on with our
thing that
lives. Like
shits me with it. It's like nobody would have known it about COVID if we didn't have social media and media in general. People would have just been dying. They would have been like, "Oh, the flu
Yeah.
season's fucking bad this year." There'd be no
Right.
restrictions. There'd be no fucking scare tactics from the media and shit. It's just
Or
that
only on
pissing me off.
only on TV.
it would have happened. What would have happened, and you know,
Yeah, people would have died and shit.
Like
happened,
normal
like,
and-
yeah. Like I've had COVID, and if what I had was COVID, it's no worse than a fucking cold.
I've heard that from a lot of people, and then I've heard from a couple people that it felt like shit, but like.
Yeah, that's
I
like
mean,
other
some
people,
people still
like
complain
it
and-
rolled me.
I still don't know if whether when I was sick last year, you know, whether that was COVID, because I felt pretty dog shit compared to most things, but it wasn't that bad. Like
Yeah,
I still don't know if it was COVID or not.
What I want them to do is, like, now that COVID's in the back burner, let's see how many people catch the common flu and put the statistics next to each other and be like, really, the flu is no worse than, or the
Should be
COVID's no
starting
worse
to
than the
happen
flu.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just, I don't know.
It's in a weird spot. There was some weird mumbo jumbo that was coming out from
I'm
that.
glad it's over and restrictions are fucking off and it's just
Exactly.
a thing of the past now.
Everything's back to normal, and it's per
good.
choice now for everything, except for
Yeah.
people like me who end up losing their job.
Yeah.
Like
What are you doing on that front?
couple of weeks
Yeah.
before it fucking everything was changing through, but yeah, the company's still sticking their foot down, going, no, we're not folding back on it. We're still sticking to the. I mean, they're gonna have to stick to it now, because if they go, oh, sorry, we're gonna turn back, they're fucking
Yep.
open to like millions of dollars of court cases from unfair dismissal. So
Yeah.
they kind of have to keep their guns going now. It is
Yep.
what it is for them, you know.
So did they get rid of you because of, like, a COVID related thing, was it? Or
Basically, yeah.
yep.
So because I
It's a
wasn't
bit fucked up.
basically because I wasn't fully vaxxed, it became a
Right, yeah,
thing
yeah.
for them, which made no sense, because they were saying, well, if you can get medically exempt or religiously exempt, which is still
Wait,
being
what?
yeah, if you could get medically exempt or religiously exempt, which means you will still not be vaccinated, you could work. But if you couldn't get a religious exempt or a medical exempt, sorry, goodbye. Like,
Yeah.
logic? Like, I'm no different to someone that's got religious exempt or a medical exempt then.
Mm.
But then
So
getting a
my-
medical exempt was like a massive jump through hoops, because I got people that like have bad heart conditions and shit, and we're trying to get that, and they're like, no, you can't. So well, fine then. And then there's another person we know that had the vaccine and had like severe like reactions to it, and they were dumb enough to go, oh no, I'll go get another vaccine, and had another reaction to it. It's like,
And
well,
that's their own fault. That is.
Yeah. fuck yeah.
fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, well, you're a fucking dickhead. Like, I don't. But like,
If you had a reaction, you don't get it again. Like, you just stay away from it.
but yeah, it's like, but it's interesting seeing every person's like. I've basically heard nearly every different kind of story you could have. Me experiencing one side of it, me like losing my job. Basically, I've heard of every outcome from someone. Whether it's been
Yeah.
fine, someone's lost
Mine-
a job, someone's like.
Mine was
affected by it.
ridiculous in the fact that I caught COVID, and then the third booster come in that you had to get your third booster, and then my boss sends me a message. He's like, "You need to get your third booster." I'm like, "I literally had COVID last week."
That is my
Like,
third booster. I've got it.
you know that I was off with COVID. I'm like, like, that's my booster right there. And then
Exactly.
he's like,
and
yeah,
that's
you
the
need it by
logic.
Friday, and I get it. And then he's like, oh, you probably could have gone without it actually because you've got COVID. You've had COVID. I was just like, bruh, like
That's my point. That's one of my biggest points out of all of it. Because like
Just stick to one thing.
I was on the brink anyway. Because I mean, I'm no longer working with them, so I was on the brink of being fired as it was. And that was one of my biggest turns, being a casual, because my hours dropped back drastically. And they're like, well, to keep your job, you get vaccinated. How do I know I'm going to keep my job? I get myself vaccinated for you guys for my job, you know what I mean? And they're like,
Yeah, they're
oh,
just like,
sorry, we don't
anymore."
need you now. It's like, so I went through all that time off, most probably, because I had to recover, which then I lost out on like, I was like, no, I'll just write it out and see what happens. And
yeah.
this is my
So,
outcome, and it is what it is.
As far as like another job, have you got anything lined up or?
Not at the moment. Just been chilling, having a bit of a break, and I mean, I've been looking at jobs.
Yep.
But
Yeah,
it's
that's
still
alright.
weird.
I did the same.
It's still even in this now, like seeing new jobs being added. And like the government's already come out and said, the vaccine mandates dropped and everything like that in Queensland and stuff. And yet I'm looking through jobs that have been like added a day ago or 2 days ago. And it's like straight at the top, vaccine required.
Yeah.
Like, that's
That's right.
like,
It's first
what?
thing.
Like they've dropped the whole
If you're
thing.
working with public people, like, you need a vaccine, really.
Yeah.
This is like picker and packing warehousing. It's like, what do you mean?
Yeah, but you're handling other things, like...
Yeah, but like it's weird.
fucked because like
I can
I
understand.
work alone,
Mm.
right, in my own little fucking control room and everything like that. But I've got to have the vaccine. It's like, for what? What fucking
For who?
purpose
Which
is
people?
it? Like,
A powder, bro.
I'm not affecting it. Like, if I get COVID, it's affecting me. Like,
Yeah.
It's
And you're off
just-
anyway. Like it makes no. That's what I mean. It's weird because like,
it was such a big learning curve for the government and that,
Yeah,
because they're like, we'll do this, and then they're like, fuck, that's actually not really working. 2 weeks quarantine. Nah, actually, fuck it, we'll do a week. That'll be enough. It's just like,
But like I
oh,
said,
it
like
was
I can never
bad.
understand like aged care and hospitals and stuff like that. Like being in those industries, I can understand.
Any public thing.
But even
Yeah.
now, even the hospitals have got that demanding with short supplies. They've actually turned back and gone, you know, all the people we fight. If you want to come back for your job and you're unvaccinated, you can come back. And it's
Well,
just
they
like
have to, yeah.
that's what I mean. It's just crazy to see if they can do it. Why can no other industries be like, we're fine with you being, you know, like it's weird that we're in this weird spot now where
I
people.
reckon
have got choice.
everyone would, like,
There
probably
are-
certain cases
yeah.
and that.
Like that's
Yeah,
what I mean.
if everyone
very
turned
weird.
on the government and said, fuck this, we're losing
They
good
kind of
workers
did,
for no
really.
reason.
That's kind of where it got
Yeah.
to, yeah.
That's the only reason workplaces do it, is because they don't want the fine and blah, 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 and all that shit.
But it was.
I'm glad it's over.
Yeah, definitely. It's just funny how we've had all these different ups and downs, and it's definitely been a big learning curve for everyone. Like learning how to change of work, a change
It
of
hasn't
life,
happened in over
location, like
100
it's
years. Just nothing like
something
this
like
happened.
that. Yeah, and it's
So like
crazy.
that, I don't know if you've heard over your way, but in Victoria, we had that Japanese bloody virus going around last couple of months
The
from pigs.
mosquito one.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I was like, oh, that's pretty bad. And anyway, 30 k's from here, one of the piggeries got it. And I was like, "Ooh, that's pretty close to home." And then listening to the radio one morning on the way to work, and he's like, 98.9% of people won't even know they have it, but that small percentage of people will get a brain swell. And I was like, so why are we even fucking talking about this shit?
Yeah.
Like, the majority of people aren't going to know, and the people that get it, it sucks, but like, it doesn't need to be.
You're gonna get a bit of a headache.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna get it and you get a bit of a headache because your brain's swell pressure. Like that's
Yeah,
what they're
and it
basically getting
might
at.
kill you like everything else. But
Yeah.
it's like, why are we scare tacticing people? Like, don't go outside. Like, this is bad. Like, stay away from mosquitoes and shit.
It definitely
Mosquitoes
is
find you. They don't fucking hide.
Yeah, like Ross River virus has been around for fucking how long? We still go camping.
Oh, he's got ghost. Judde's got a ghost floating around him.
Do I? Don't tell me that, because I wig out about ghosts. They fucking
I just saw
scare
a
the shit out of me.
dust orb floating around you or some shit.
The ones with a good foot and you go "Phew," at the end of the damn bed.
It's weird, eh? Like I'll go to work, and I know that plant back to front, and I'll walk up the stairs all the way to the top. And there's no windows or anything because it's just a solid big shed. I'll walk all the way to the top, no drama. Come back down, and then say the next night I'll be walking up, and I get like these chills, like something is watching me, and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on right now? Like, it's weird as.
It's just paranoia, that is.
Yeah, my
Really?
brain does it to myself. Like,
Mm.
I'll be walking past like a window that's dark on the other side, and my brain's like, imagine if like someone just like popped up to that window. And I was like, why am I even thinking about that? Like,
You've watched too many movies,
Yeah,
man.
Brain goes into
I
weird.
don't. I've never watched a scary movie in my life.
Maybe on TikTok, all those videos on TikTok most probably.
Yeah, I don't know. It's my brain's just like, wait, this would be pretty scary if this happened, eh? I'm just like, yeah, that would.
One day, you're going to look at that window and think, nothing's out there, and there will be something there.
Oh,
It's going to
dude,
scare the
I'll
fuck
shit
out of
my
you.
pants. I'll shit my pants.
Be like, let's go, fucking let's go.
It's just fight or
It was
flight.
like
That's like
fucking Pennywise, just like with the big arm going.
That's like I see like the like all those the backroom videos on TikTok. You see a lot of those happen, the back rooms.
The back rooms.
Yeah, like there's the endless hallways and different rooms and
Oh,
shit. Like the yellow
yeah.
back rooms. Yeah, yeah. Like I always imagine if I just woke up in that, like, nah, fuck it. If I woke up, like if I was to like black out and then wake up and I'm in that, I'm like, nah, fuck this shit.
So kind of like Saw,
I'm just
like
gonna
you just
fucking
wake
run
up as
around,
like,
find that thing, just be like, fuck it, I'm done. If I'm in the back rooms, I know I'm not escaping. I'm gonna find this fucking monster and just fucking take it on. Like, I'm like,
Yeah,
nah,
give it your
fuck this
best
shit. I'm just gonna
fucking shot.
fucking go on, fucking come here, you cunt. I'm like, you wanna fucking come at me? Let's fucking go, and you fucking run it and just fucking go it. You know what I
It's
mean?
just
Like,
turning the tables on your own dream. Like, the dream set out that you're gonna shit your pants. You wake up, you're like, let's fucking go.
Like, fuck
The
this
monster's
shit.
like,
I'm
"Oh,
fucking
shit."
done. If I'm going down, I've seen how this goes. I'm fucking going. Like, if you know, like Texas Chainsaw, you know, you always seen how Texas Chainsaw like happens in one day
always
you
go
wake up, you're
hiding.
strained, you're like, nah. Like, nah. You know, in this situation, you see me like, nah, let's just fucking go. You want to chainsaw me, cunt? Let's fucking go. Just fucking run in, get yourself like, let's fucking go then. You want to do this? Fucking let's go.
You could never rush him though because you got a chainsaw.
Kick
Yeah,
him in the
that's
nuts.
That thing's always going. It never fucking turned
Tackle
off.
him or something. I mean, you
They
know,
always run.
They always
I
run.
have seen Texas Chainsaw
I
Massacre.
don't get how they
That-
always find them though. Like they always find where they're hiding,
Yeah,
where
they're
they're running
That's it.
to.
always under
Said-
the car or something, and they're like the
Have you tried
footsteps, like, come
going
beside the car.
in real life trying to find someone?
Yeah,
like that's
it's
what I mean.
typical
They
shit.
always try to escape. Every time you see these things, they're like, nah,
Like-
fuck it. If you know you're gonna end up in a situation, you might as well just fucking go out on a win. Like
And the
just
hot chick
Yeah.
always dies first.
fucking
Yeah.
go it. Like that's how I feel.
I think
anyway,
it has
if anything
to
happen.
I always think of House of Wax when that happens. That movie's amazing.
Oh,
Never
fucking,
seen
that was
it.
crazy. That one.
Oh, you got to watch that, Judde. So
Bloody
good.
Fuck that.
was it
fucking
Paris Hilton
scary
in it?
movie.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, that's when he died
Yeah.
first, wasn't she?
Mm.
Or one of them.
Crazy film. Fucking
Good movie. I think that was the second one too, which is weird. It was
Well, I
great.
think-
The house was actually made out of wax,
Yeah,
which
yeah, it
is
was a
pretty
weird
cool.
thing. That was filmed in. I think wasn't that filmed in Australia?
Maybe. Let me have a look.
Wasn't there? I'm
Maybe.
sure they filmed it like a Movie World or something. Some was one of those kind of films was filmed at Movie World or
Didn't
something.
it have Jared Padalecki in it from Supernatural as well?
I think so, something like that. I can't remember. It was really weird because there have been some weird films that you would never expect to be filmed at like Movie World on the Gold Coast. Movie World on the Gold
Pirates
Coast.
of the Caribbean.
Just plug Movie World on the Gold Coast. But yeah, no, it's just weird. He's gonna have a look at that. That's pretty cool. You got the nice.
Yeah, it
lighting.
was United States and Australia.
Yeah, there we
I
go.
think
Got the backlight, but it needs to be brighter, I reckon.
Because I think what I
Just a
remember, I think there
little
was a Actually, I think what the problem was with the House of Wax. They had the House of Wax set. I think what actually happened was it burnt down. That was a problem that actually happened.
like in the movie.
Yeah, it actually burnt down. Like it actually caused
shit.
problems and actually burnt down one of the warehouse, or burnt the inside of the warehouse at Movie World.
Hey, Judde, you probably don't want to watch it if you don't like body parts falling off and shit.
Yeah.
Nah, that doesn't. I just don't see the point in watching something
They
that
got
I'm gonna
waxed
shit
and
my
the leaves
pants
just
when I go to
fall off.
sleep.
Yeah, waxing like peeling off and skin's coming with it, and
Ugh.
it's awesome.
Because they turned literally into wax kind of thing. Like it's weird.
Y'all
This
fuck.
is back in the day, 2005, where a movie made 70 million. That's it.
That's fucking.
And now they're being made for 200.
Yeah,
like
that's right.
like the fucking budget for that movie was 40 million.
Crazy to
Like-
think.
Jesus.
So small,
Um,
but they're so good.
But I got a few things here I wanted to go through.
Do it.
Some of these articles I saw popping up before we started. I was just doing a
Yeah.
little dig around, seeing what there was for this week. Which this one was actually pretty cool. Did you see what? I don't know if Jim took note of it or not, but there's the PlayStation. What they're doing? They got their new little studio. Did you think?
No.
You know what I'm talking about?
Game preservation.
Yes, game preservation team, like
I've
this
seen it.
little division. So it's been, was it senior build engineer Garrett Fredley has joined their team, and they're creating this whole PlayStation preservation of like classic games, bringing them back and
Friendly.
stuff like that.
That's funny.
So I was like, oh, that's pretty cool to see. Like,
Yeah, they're working on PS1 to PS5 because they're going to make these go longer. Like
actually
I
back
think
them
for
up properly.
PS6, that's going to be a real back compat. You can play everything. I think the way they're going with that.
Properly,
Lordy.
like back it up properly, so we're not going to lose them for years to come.
What's I
kind of thing.
thinking? They're going to remaster a lot of games.
Well, that's
or
what it
something.
sounds like. The fact that they got a team, like they're getting a
Dude,
team
if
together.
they remaster fucking Driven to Destruction, I'm fucking buying a PlayStation. That'd be the first PlayStation I've brought since PlayStation 3, but I will fucking buy it. I don't know if you remember that game, but it
What was
is
the Ghost
so
Rider
good.
game? That thing was beastly.
Oh right.
I don't think
I
I
think it was-
played it.
So good. Like it's so
Yeah.
good. It's hard to explain. It's just Ghost Rider, an action adventure. So good.
Hell yeah. Fuck are you doing, Dale?
Oh,
what's that,
he
Pete?
just lost on the party.
Dental hygiene with the Beardy Bros.
I just heard him brush him before.
I've got a bit-
That's what I
worse than
did.
shit stuck in your teeth.
That's what I'm feeling right now. I'm like,
Right.
something stuck between
Especially
us.
when you like eat a steak or something.
Or some fucking corn on the cob.
Yeah,
Oh.
corn's bad. Corn's bad.
It's so soft, but it gets stuck. And
I
steak's
normally
not too bad.
I normally cut it off the cob now and just like
Just
eat
get a
like, the
thing,
strips of it. Yeah. Save
Nice.
heap of heartache later.
Yeah, because you just smile and all this corn's just there, like, hello, friend.
But I think I can speak for both of us, for John and I anyway. Fortnite no builds is fucking pretty cool.
Yeah,
I
you
like
boys
that
have been
shit.
getting back into it. Me and Jim played a bit earlier.
I
I
even
was cracked
downloaded it on my
today.
PC.
Hey,
I've downloaded it on the PC so I can
is that what
actually
you're
have
playing
it.
it on? We get on
Yeah.
Discord chat this time.
Nice. Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
definitely be playing that later, so that'll be pretty fun. So, oh, can't
So I
wait
Yeah,
to
can
play that.
actually have a big screen because last night I was like this close to the screen, like, is that a person? Oh, it's a fucking boar or whatever they are, like a
And that's
pig.
why you liked your thermal scope.
Yeah, legit, because I could just scan. I was like, oh, there's someone. I only found that gun twice, and I never found it.
We
Like,
found
we
I found it a
played-
couple of times.
We played before for what, 2 hours, I think?
Something like that.
2 or 3
we played
hours.
for a long time. We played till 2 o'clock last night.
Yeah,
I was
Yeah.
like, that night shift went really fast.
that was good though.
Oh, it was
Yeah,
so
and then I see Judde's name pop up when I was doing music. It's like Judde's name just pop up.
Yeah, so I couldn't come and watch your stream because I watched the stream on the work computer, and when I tried to do the Discord shit, it must have threw out a code or a problem with the Microsoft thing, and it just would not let any music or anything work. So I had my phone, and I was like sitting it like this because the machine's pretty loud, and I was like, I can't fucking hear shit, and I just gave up.
Jeez, man.
But normally I have the stream going, and you can hear because I brought a wireless speaker and shit for it.
Oh god.
That's crazy. You broke the whole thing, man.
Yeah, actually, hopefully when I go back, it's good because I tried to fix it. Like I was doing
Oh.
everything I could because when I go back, I'm gonna want to watch streams and shit. And
Hopefully you can. Yeah.
new episodes of Mayans that come out every week. I want to watch that too, but no, I can't because I fucked it.
It shouldn't be that bad. Like, I mean,
It'll be in your settings.
to be
somewhere.
fair, Microsoft, their audio interface is fucking horrible.
It is shit, yeah. It was, you know how you got like your speaker thing down the bottom corner on your taskbar?
Yeah.
It
Down
was
there.
that, but it had a red cross across it, and when you click it, there was no audio devices, even though everything was
It's just
plugged
completely
in. and I was-
muted. It could like
Yeah, it was like
completely
it-
deleted the sound.
Yeah, it's sort of. It was like nothing was there.
Yeah, you have to go to
Even the
settings and check
internal
the-
speaker of this fucking.
I reckon
yeah.
just restart the PC and just
Yeah, I tried that,
oh
Definitely see if
That's
you can get into the
weird.
settings and check
Google,
the
bro.
sound. Yeah.
but because it's on that every computer's on a server, I'm wondering whether it's like saved to that.
All the servers are
mean-
muted. No one's got sounds.
Or not that, but that particular computer, it doesn't matter who logs into it, will not have sound.
I reckon you could fix it because you've changed it, so you can change it back.
It sounds like it's just been like a perma-mute kind of
Mm.
thing, but you can go in the settings and you should be able to.
Luckily, work has a helpline, a help desk, 24-hour help desk, so I'll just ring them.
I
like,
reckon
"Hey,
they
I've got
would.
no audio. I'm trying to do fucking work questions and shit. With work, they do these like stupid things where every month or a couple of it's meant to be 12 months, but it feels like they come around every month. You got to do like a work health and safety, food safety, halal and haram
Mm-hmm.
quizzes and shit, so just to keep your knowledge up with it.
Yeah.
But it's like primary school shit. Like
Every month.
it's bad.
It's like once a year, man. That can't be once every month. Is it really that bad?
It comes around, but they're not like it doesn't come in a lump and be like you've got 8 units to do. It'll be like you've got this unit to do this month, and then like you won't log on for 2 months into that like the learning side of it. And it's like
horrible.
you got 3 overdue. I think I've got one that's like fucking 300 and something days overdue.
That's what I did. Like that was getting towards me when I was close to my termination period, and they're like, "Oh, you got these things to like finish filling out." I'm like, "No, I don't need to fill any workplace health and safety shit out or do any training. Fuck your training." I was like,
Yeah,
I'm done
you're
in like a
getting rid
week.
of me, you fuck.
It's unvalidated for me. I'm out of here. It's like it's so funny. I left so many like stacked up as well. Like it was just the red flag with like a numbers, like all these things. Like here's all your training that you need to be completed by this time. I'm like, oh, I'm not doing any
They're
training.
like, you've got this will take half an hour. It's like, yep, sweet. And it's like, when do I do that? And they're like, oh, like on your lunch break or whatever. Like, fuck, that's my lunch break. I'm not doing shit for work on my lunch break.
I always do when I was working. I took up. It's like, oh, why didn't you get this job done? It's like, well, I had to finish my training, so I was
Yeah,
serving
exactly.
customers, and I had to bounce between 7 customers and doing this. And
Dicks. So, have
Fun
you
times.
moved house, John? You finally
No,
did
why?
it? Why is it
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say the
You
back
should
was
have
way
had a
different.
wardrobe before.
Yeah.
He has
Yeah,
moved.
boy.
He has
Been
nice
here
more room.
a month now, big bro.
So you're living with your brother now?
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, nice.
They got
Is
plenty
he
of room,
older
bro.
or younger than you?
Younger.
Yeah, nice. Sheesh.
Youngie. Jeez.
And you're only down the road or something, aren't you? From where
Hey.
you originally were?
Up the road.
Up
Not
the
down.
road?
It's up, literally up a hill.
Ah. Did
What
you
a
carry
fly,
this
man.
shit? Or did you trailer it up the hill?
Hell no. Oh, I'm not carrying this damn desk.
Yeah, true. Fair.
He was all
Fuck
moving
me,
it a
that's-
bit.
Yeah. Actually, I bought new shit. It was built here. Bed was built here. That was built here. Everything was built here.
Yeah,
Looks
once it's
like
in
you
there,
need that cupboard back though, John.
iconic. He just needs to get a printout of the cupboard and just stick it on the wall so it looks like there's a cupboard there, but there's not.
Looks like he's got all the shit in his cupboard. Not in Woolworths bags at the back of it.
Oh, they're all movies. I can't really. That's a movie corner until I get a big bookcase there for it.
Said just to get a wardrobe back, another wardrobe.
That's a
Smack
big ass
bang in the-
TV
No.
too.
Not really.
Looks big. It looks
Only
big
a
on my end.
55, I think.
Oh, it's normal size for nowadays.
Average.
Mm-hmm.
We were meant
Stock.
to film a fucking podcast tonight, but Tanner's fucking retarded. So
Sorry, Tanner.
Oh god.
Oh god.
it'll be
That
tomorrow
happens,
night,
man.
I guess.
Yeah, I mean that's what we might have to do. We might have to do like, would it be kind of cool? We could do like a cross podcast where it's like we both record, I guess, and we both upload it if we do it at the same time as like
Yeah,
the same episode.
Fuck
But
yeah,
like
it'd be sick.
you have one on your channel, and we have one on our channel, kind of thing. And it's like,
Yeah,
and you
well,
can
it
watch on
wouldn't-
either one you want to watch on, kind of thing. And it's like the exact same thing. Like that'd be cool. Like the exact same podcast. We're like, who? There's some people watch.
Fucking, I
Wait, I'm
agree.
sure I've seen this already, but it was different on a different channel. Like, but why is this? I'm confused. It's like a fracture in reality.
I'm all for it. I'm all for
I
fucking
wonder. I don't think
sharing the
anyone's
love
done that.
around.
Has anyone- I don't think anyone. I've ever seen anyone do that. Like have like the same podcast, but like two different channels.
I mean,
Kind of like posted the same thing.
It'd be unheard
not
of.
really. I mean, they might have had ideas, but never done it. That's about it.
Because I mean, I've seen like Rhett and Link with their crew do their podcast. It's just all different podcasts, but filmed in the same set. It's like what? It's so.
Yeah.
It feels
Yeah.
so awkward. I'm like, that just feels so like. But then the camera angles are a little bit different. And it's like that's.
We did
so...
get Taylor Morgan. I don't know if you've seen it, but Tanner put on our Beardy Bros, fucking Bogan Yack Podcast on TikTok.
It's already happening, bro.
I get them too confused so much. It's bad. She's got like 700,000 followers, and Tanner put that short up of where I said if she was a bleeding steak, if she
That's
was
right. Yeah.
rare steak, I'd eat it while it's bleeding. She commented on it. She's got 700,000 followers, and she's seen it, and she's like, "Oh God."
That's
I'll
great.
take it.
I'll take it.
Right?
It's still like getting publicity and stuff as well. Like it's the memes. It's
That's
the...
it. It was fair.
That's great.
700,000. I was like, fuck, I've only got like 10,000, but you miss when your video's going off, you miss notifications flat out. It's ridiculous.
That's exactly it. It's crazy sometimes. You don't know what's going on and things don't work properly and you think, oh, it's only a couple and you realize it's more than what it is and you're like,
Yeah,
what's going on? It doesn't register because it's just happened.
It kind of breaks it.
Just blows
they've
up.
changed their algorithm apparently. So if you're starting out on TikTok now, it's a lot harder to get followers and all that sort of shit.
Ah,
But
that's a bit shitty.
yeah,
It would
because
suck if you
that's
lose
what
your
I
account.
liked about it. It was good. It was easy to grow on TikTok. Like
Definitely
Twitch
gonna
is
harder.
hard as fuck for a bloke unless you got titties.
Exactly it.
I
Exactly.
mean, everyone's got titties.
Dang
So.
Yeah, but that
Titties.
people find attractive, John. You're
True.
not gonna have a bloke come in and be like, look at John's titties. Damn.
Show
I
us
mean,
some-
Judde, you last night.
Right, true. Look, that's me, alright?
Actually, that reminds me of that though.
That was
Speaking of that, I watched
hilarious.
it on a TikTok last night, where it was basically someone with, like this chick was streaming, and of course, you know, typical tits out, usual kind of stream, you know, and she'd be playing, must have been playing in a team, and they were in a chat, and I don't know if you've come across it yet, but she's like there, and she kind of got the camera, and her teamate she's playing with, he doesn't mute his chat mic.
Oh,
They're like,
yeah, I
and
heard
then he's
it.
like, and he's like,
Look
oh,
at
I
those
would
fucking things."
jizz all over those things, and then she's like, what was that? And then she like moves out the way so you can see her tits more, and she's like, what were you saying? He goes, oh, I was just talking to my The subtitle comes. I was
was,
just talking to my daughter. I was like, oh my god.
Addison Rae or whatever her name is.
Something
I
like
think,
that,
isn't
yeah. It was fucking hilarious. Like, oh crap. Oh, my mic's not. Oh, god.
He started an OnlyFans and made $1 million in 24 hours.
It's crazy,
Fucking
man.
crazy.
Jesus.
I'd do the same fucking thing. If I
you
could make
could.
$1 million in 24 hours and the supply and demand was there, my dick would be all over that shit.
And that's what I mean. That's where it does come down to. It does feel annoying because as guys, the market isn't the same because no one wants to see some guys ghibli be.
No, every female ever puts it on Instagram like, this guy sends me a dick pic and I'm shaming this guy for sending me a dick pic, and it's like, yeah, well, nah, so you
And then you'll see that she's got an OnlyFans account and she's selling her noodly bits. It's like, you're getting the stuff given to you for free and you're trying to charge people to sell. Like, well, come on,
Right.
where's the hypocrisy here? People are trying to give it out for free and you're complaining about it and then you are charging people for it. Like,
I prefer to pay for it.
Like one chick I've got on Instagram, she's like, oh, you know, she loves cum and all this shit. And I was like, first of all, who loves cum? That's weird. And then she's like, she'll get people sending her videos on Instagram and she'll like be like, this is wrong and blah, blah, blah. And then on her OnlyFans, she's like, I love it. Send me videos of this, but make sure you put a tip in. It's like,
yeah,
so
basically
you like money.
yeah, you like money. I'll do
Yeah.
it for money, but I won't do it for free.
There you go, Judde. Send in a video with a $2 tip.
Yeah, which you literally can. And they just like, fuck yeah, that's great.
Judde
It's
knows from
such a
experience at
weird-
that point.
It's like, I won't do it for free, but I'll do it if I get money.
Yeah.
That was like another one I saw earlier, actually, another TikTok I watched earlier, which
That's
is
just the world, though, now.
it's the kind of a essence of a dick pic, and I don't know if this story was real or not, but it was kind of funny watching it. So this chick, she's basically bawling her eyes out. I don't know if you've seen it, Judde, but she's sitting there bawling her eyes out, and she's like, I haven't eaten all day, I'm hungry, and this guy asked me over for dinner, and I was like, yes, I'll come over for dinner, and I was like, okay, and I asked him, what's for dinner, and he's like, a sausage, and the next week he just zips down his pants and flops his dick on the table, and it's like, how, man, it's like, yeah, like, what the fuck, it's like, she hasn't eaten all day, man, I feel sorry for this chick, she hasn't eaten all day, she's expecting to have a feed cooked for her, and it's like, sausage is like, fine, I'll take that, I'm just fucking hungry, and then next week's just a dick, it's just like, Jesus, like,
There's some fucking weirdos out there,
some
I
people
tell
are just
you.
like, fuck.
I
feel
know
sorry
one
for people
chick
like that.
that had the guy over, and she went to have a shower, and they literally just met that night. So he stayed in the bedroom. She went and had a shower, and she come out, and he had a fucking rock hard sword and her dildo up against his dick. Like, why are you going through shit in the first place, and why are you doing that?
That's messed up.
Was he trying to measure the things or something? Was he what?
No, like
makes
he
no
was
sense.
like he was right into it, like fucking smacking off. But like, who does that? That's just I don't get it. Like, if you're with her long-time partner, like you get away with it, but just meeting
But even then,
someone.
it's a bit.
I was
Yeah,
expecting
into
the
the
simple like just
situation,
sitting there
like-
butt naked, but that's a complete twist to that one. Comes
like,
out from
yeah,
a
he's-
shower, he thought he's gonna get some, so he's laying in bed butt naked. Like that seems like the normal pretense of a film. Like that's usually what happens. But like he's there going,
Yeah, like he probably was going to get something, but like,
not
the
now,
whole-
not now. After that, maybe I mean
Yeah.
maybe it still could have gone through, but it's just a weird story because she'd be like, "Fuck, I've been in isolation for a year, haven't had anything. Fuck it, this is the best I'm pulling. Oh god, I better take it. Fine." And
Right?
and he's just there like, she's like gone off his
It
board, just
worked.
looking at, yeah, Emperor John, ha, evil Zerg, you gonna take this, take that, yeah. It's like, what the fuck is he thinking? Like,
the
what?
worst bit is he probably walked away from that. Like, if he did get sex, he'd walk away and be like, I can't believe that worked. I'm gonna do it more often.
the amount of people he just like finds objects and just that, and he just has his dick out and doing this weird shit with things. Like, oh fuck,
Next movie, Hot Wheel cars.
gotta go
God.
fast.
Do like the jackass where they put up his butt and go get an X-ray.
Oh god,
Have a fight up there.
fuck.
Jesus.
I have a whole bunch of things here I wanted to.
I'm
Kind of
going off
quizzing.
topic, so you.
That's alright.
you
I
go on
had a
your
whole
way.
bunch of things here I was going to segue to because I just was looking for things to news and stuff to bring up, and I was like, oh, this kind of gives me an idea. So, I mean, at the moment, I mean, this is all kind of bouncing off segues from lists, but we have talked about video game movies in the past and stuff, and like it's weird, you know, you got bad video game movies and good video game movies, and questionable whether it's good, but it still makes the money. So, basically at the moment, Sonic 2 is basically the highest grossing video game movie of all time, and it actually
right.
beaten its the first Sonic movie. So at the moment, Sonic 2 is in first place, and Sonic is in second place for the best video game movie adaptation. And it's like,
I think
Makes
Sonic
sense.
2 was bound to be better because it's got more characters from
more
the game
substance,
in
and
it.
it's
And they can take more risk because they've already established that base of.
Yeah, of a pretty decent movie, like especially for kids. Kids love it. Like my daughter loves it.
So I gotta. I still haven't watched it yet. I've seen some scenes get spoiled on TikTok and shit, which is a bit of a pain in the ass in this day and age we live in. But it's just like that's pretty good though to see like two movies in coincide to each other and not like that like a sequel. Like we're seeing good out of this because you always accept the expectation of like video game movies are always kind of like and that they're cool watchable, but they're like it was bad in some ways and there's always something going on. Yeah, exactly. And but it's good to see for a change that not just one, we've got a video game movie that's actually doing very well, but two, we've actually got a sequel to something that is doing better, or if not on the same par, because it just broke just a bit over on the first one, which is just crazy to see.
Uncharted's the other one. Like that's a good one.
That's third.
Yeah,
that movie's
that's
third
right.
on the list. It was originally second. It's now third because Sonic 2 has beaten it.
Yeah.
Fourth is Pokemon Detective Pikachu, and fifth is
That's-
Lara Croft Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raiders are probably one of the best, really, like as well.
Yeah, Tomb Raider's like I don't think they've really sort of gone wrong with the movies.
Because they never tried to change anything. Like they kept the core, but they just added another story over it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And just made it compatible for film to condense it down and tell it within that time frame.
I
Like,
think
it's still
that's
an
what you gotta
action movie,
do.
like action adventure
When
movie.
you're making a game and then a movie, people want to watch that for the game. Like they don't want to watch it and be like, "What the fuck is going
not
on?" Like I know
exactly,
who this
though.
main character is, but
And that's the biggest thing I definitely found with like I've kind of have been getting into the Halo series now. I hated it at first, still kind of hate it. I was saying to Jim earlier, I hate the Halo series for what it's doing and it's kind of changing the lore. But then as a sci-fi perspective, I'm fucking loving it. It's just like I'm very torn apart because now it's getting to a point where it's actually very close to its source material. At first, it seemed very off, but now it's kind of like it's weird that the series started off like this is what's happening, but then through the series gone, well, actually, this is what's kind of related to what's going on, and it's kind of retconning itself.
Yeah, but can
from
it
the first
keep going
episode.
though? That's the only
And
thing.
then, well, it's going to a point now, which is crazy because we've gotten to a climactic point now, and it's just like fuck, like it's kind of getting.
I'm guessing the season's nearly over.
I think we are getting close to the season done, so it's only a few episodes.
I love a
It's
short
like
season.
10 episodes, I think it might have been. Or it might have been the 7. A lot of things seem to be very 7-episode based now, which is weird. Like, I don't know why.
Not 7.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I don't know why things are like 7. Why 7 in particular? What's like.
Yeah,
What was
it's very
Falcon
weird.
and the Winter Soldier? Was that 7?
I think it was 7 or.
What was Loki?
It's strange.
7? 8?
I've noticed that too. Like Sons of Anarchy and that had like some seasons were like bloody
14.
14, some are less, and then
Nine,
Mayans,
something.
which is a spin-off created by virtually the same bloke, but they've only got 10 episodes per season. It's like, well,
Exactly.
what
Like
the fuck?
10
Why 10?
feels like a nice staple, but it's
Yeah,
just
10's
weird
a good
that.
number, but
But 7's been a thing lately, especially with Marvel. Like, it's been 7. 7 episodes. So I'm like, what are they getting at here? Is it kind of like some weird thing they're getting
Easter
at?
egg thing.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
So it's gonna be
it's weird.
seven shows for seven episodes.
Yeah,
Maybe.
it's
Who
weird.
knows?
But no, but it's still interesting to me that I'm surprised that like I said, we've got a sequel doing better than the first film. It's amazing to see these, like, we're actually getting, for video game movies, that we're actually getting somewhere now, and we're actually
I mean,
getting...
it's not rare, but that's what usually happens. The sequel does up it.
Am I dreaming this? And I could very well be. Did I hear talk that they're making a Mario movie?
Yes.
Or is that?
Yes. That Mario movie where Chris Pratt is Mario, yes.
Yeah.
What the fuck? How do you even do that?
It's like an animated film as well.
We'll
like it's all
see.
animated.
Yeah.
Made by Illumination, which did the Minions.
Yeah.
Man, I hope they're
And this-
racing and shit. It'd be cool if they're doing like
Mario
races
Kart?
and stuff. Yeah.
Like a Mario Kart sequence in it or something.
Like they've already done a Mario movie that was trash, so I guess they can't do it that way.
Live action. I mean, they could do a live action, but...
No, I mean like the same kind of story as that. 'Cause
Yeah.
That was just
Yeah. Yeah,
Even the
thought-
movie was bad
I'm
in
pretty sure I
general.
heard you
Just
talk
good.
about it on one episode.
yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, months ago because
Yeah, months ago.
but
Yeah.
last year I think they said that.
So
What
this is
episode are we on?
Crazy.
18.
Damn.
Season 3, episode 18, bro. We're getting through them. Fucking
Well,
crazy.
we got one in my head now. It's
That's
over
fucking-
100
That's
and
pretty
something.
good.
Yeah.
We're literally use 104 episodes in front of us. That's like that's
I
pretty
just
crazy.
still can't believe we've come this far, and it's fucking great. Like, so good.
I only missed
It's
one
good,
week.
like,
Mm.
Tanner and I love doing the podcast, and like even if you don't get much out, it's just like good to do it. I don't
That's
know.
It
exactly
is.
it. It's kind of nice little
It
vent
gets
as
off your
well.
chest. Like,
Yeah,
I feel better after it. Like,
Like today, I've been
I've
feeling
had
a bit
people
crap,
come up
and this
to me in the
is.
street like, "Oh, listen to your podcast," and it's like, "Oh, sick," and it's like, "Yeah, it's actually pretty good." I was like, "Oh, cheers."
That's
Like,
exactly it. Like
sick.
that's all. That's all. Like that's what you want, really, isn't it? Like it's almost a bit of an acknowledgement in sense, but it's like cool to go. Oh, I've done something. Someone's seen it. That's pretty good. Like
Yeah.
that's pretty
Like
good.
my I've been doing my personal training for 2 weeks,
Mm.
and the first day I went there, he's like, "Oh, I listened to your podcast," and I was like, "Oh, what?" Like when I messaged you, you might have like looked at my profile. He's like, "No, like ages ago," like, and like I hadn't actually sort of told you. It was I had just come across it. I was like, "That's
cool.
fucking cool, as like
That's cool.
You know, it means it's getting somewhere."
That's exactly it. You want to feel, and that's what I feel too. Is like you want to. Sometimes you don't know. Like, see, for me and Jim, it's different because he's in Tasmania and I'm in Queensland. So when we try and promote our audiences, we don't know whether it's hitting our local audiences or if it's going. Like, I do see it goes further, but we
Yeah.
don't have those interactions with people. We're not seeing people where they go, "Hey, I listened to that. Are you such and
Yeah,
such?" You know,
that's
like
right.
because like it's weird. Like it's locally, it's
It's
you either
two
get locally,
different
you don't.
like
Yeah.
scales. Hey, like
Mm.
Tanner and I are locals, so the people that know us are around, and we can get that vibe. As you guys
Yeah.
are like, you might be reaching further, but you don't get that
Yeah.
feedback back to you.
Yeah, and it's definitely interesting to like really get that, and especially when it's randoms too, like or if it's kind of someone you knew but like you didn't expect them to listen to it.
Yeah,
It's always
that's
cool.
right.
And
Yeah.
it's a fun experience, but it's a real eye opener when it happens. And you're like, because you're really like kind of shocked by it, but it's something so simple, but you're just like, wow, like you don't take that into perspective, like.
Mm.
Realistically, you think, oh, someone listens, cool, sweet, you know. But when you actually have it happen and someone says that to you, it's like, fuck, like that's actually something, you know. Like,
Yeah, that's right.
It's very interesting, yeah.
Like I said to
people
Tanner,
in the
people
Discord.
will be sitting there and like, you know, they'll be bad mouthing us and blah, blah. I can't believe they're doing a podcast and blah, blah, blah. Like, there's going to be haters. And I said to them,
always.
people will be picking on us, and I couldn't give a fuck because I don't hear it. I don't care. Even if they come to my face, I'm like, don't listen to it. Like,
Exactly,
plain and
exactly.
simple, I don't care.
That's free speech, man.
Exactly.
Literally. Yeah, why are you even telling me this? But I'm like, there's people out there that actually like it. Like even my mates, like I didn't expect them to listen because, you know, they're all in the cars and blah blah blah, and like not a part of that, like listening to the podcast. One of them didn't even know what a podcast is, but now he's like, yeah, it's actually fucking good. I like listening to it.
That's our thing. Oh fuck, what was it? Like, if you've got nothing nice to say, just don't say it. It's not that hard.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, pardon me. Jesus. Jesus.
I
Drama's a
mean,
big thing
unless you're on a
nowadays.
podcast, then you just go ham on things that do suck.
That's right. And our podcasts are good too because they're completely opposite, but you can talk about anything. Like
That's
ours
exactly
is like not gaming related, but we'll talk about it because that's what we're into. So fucking.
That's
it's
exactly
all-
it. Like we
yeah.
kind of just stick to it because it seems like a safe spot. But at the same time, we'll talk anything as well.
Movies,
like we'll go all over the
music,
place, wherever it takes us.
anything.
Yeah.
Like if we talk about one topic and it just happens to take us somewhere else, hey, let's go there.
Yeah,
We
that's
could have
right.
one
Like,
episode
yous are knowledgeable on it too, so it works. Like I play a game, but I don't study the background of that game or the developer or whatever like that. So
And like I said, you never know where the episode's going to take you. Like we've just been gasped. Like I had an idea of what we're going to go over, but like it can go away from that. Like we can go somewhere completely different and end up not being what we were aiming to kind of discuss. You know, it doesn't have
but
to
it's
be.
always
That's the great
road,
thing about it.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's blah blah blah, but it's a lot more than that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just one of those things. Like that's the
But
thing
it's
about
not like
podcasts.
you're sitting there like, what do we do next? Sort
Hey
of thing.
guys,
Like,
welcome back.
Talk about this.
We're gonna. I mean,
yeah,
not
you don't feel like a robot sitting here for an hour and a half.
making any
Like-
stabs.
Yeah.
Oof.
Nothing.
Nothing. If you think it's about you, that's your own fault.
If the shoe fits, is that the thing?
Yeah. So if the shoe fits, You're so vain. You probably think this podcast's about you. You're so vain.
Fuck does that even come into your head? That is,
Like,
I
your
was thinking
brain
that as
does.
well.
my brain's always over the place.
What did I say the other day? Is it John? Is it a doll?
Is it a doll?
Because
and
Dale
doll.
was playing, pretending to play
Pretend
fucking.
to be Jim.
pretending
They
to
have
be
more
Jim.
chances though. Oh, your name is Jim. Like what? Like what were the chances of that happening in that game though? That's crazy. Like the game reads out your name. It's like hey there, my name is Jim. It's like what the fuck? like out of all like names to choose, it could have been Bob, Ben, Steven, Chris.
Anything,
Like
yeah.
and it was Jim. Like. Fucking hell. I'm like, this is great. This is the perfect time for the best bit. I'm like, I can be Jim right now. I know Jim. We hang out in Discord and shit. Like, fuck, I know.
I know
exactly
who
what to do.
took the clips.
Yeah.
Judde.
Judde and Brain.
Yeah. Oh my god, damn
Guilty.
it.
Oh, it's so good though. But I was like, that was
Because
so hilarious.
I was just watching it and went, he's fucking mocking.
Like, it's perfect for a bit right now. I can pretend to be
I had
Jim.
to do
Let's go,
something, though, 'cause
guys.
I got, like,
It's very
Johns
fucking
and
awesome.
dolls.
Like,
Because it's very rare that I call Jim Jim.
Yeah.
yeah.
Very fucking rare. I'm
It's just
always
John.
John.
But it
Even
took
in
me.
chat.
It took me back, honestly, playing that game. It just took me back. I was just like, oh my fucking god, I was not expecting
I was
that.
sitting there, and the worst bit is, I was sitting there at work watching it, just like, what the fuck am I watching, and why am I still here an hour later,
This
figuring
is
out what the fuck's going on? Every time the screen goes black, like a light would be hanging down or something.
It's such a Stanley Parable is just such a wacky game. There's so many different variable outcomes, and especially with this new version, doing what has been done before, like they definitely have improved it. And like it's there's
gonna
new, there's
refine
so
it.
much new things like from the get go, and even when you've gone to a certain point, and it feels like you can definitely hear it from the original voice act. So when you first play the game and you get those first iterations at the start until you've unlocked the new content, it's the original voice. Like it's still the same guy, but he's older now, so you can kind of hear his age in his voice.
Like
But,
a 10-year gap, isn't it? Or so,
Something like that. Yeah,
a-
it's like 10 years.
Oh, shit.
9 years.
Oof.
And you can definitely hear it. But like when you first play the game, you can hear the original voice recording of like the game and the narration. But then once you've unlocked that new content, even though you've gone back and it feels like it's the start of the game all over again, it's the original, like it's the new recordings. But he's rereading the old scripts and doing so. He's gone through and re-recorded all his dialogue again that he has done for every little outcome plus more. And it's just like, fuck, like that's a lot of work for what it
I
is.
like how he takes the piss out of himself. Like people say I talk too much.
And he just ramble on. He literally be a Wookiee and just ramble on and on, like, let's listen and see how this goes. And dude, he like, there's a skip button, and he would literally have this explanation about what the skip button was, and intending for you to skip the game while he was talking, and I just let it play out. And he just rambled and rambled for like 15, 20 minutes, and he wouldn't stop. And then it got to a point where he actually stopped talking. I waited to see if he was going to say anything. And I go, okay, let's skip. And then it would go through different things. I was like, fuck, like they really put the work in on this game. Like it was, and I'm still playing through all the different outcomes, and I'm like going through, and it's like, fuck me, like this game is just so much more than what it had originally. Like, and the original game had so much going for it. It's like,
It was sort of cool. It was cool how like you start in virtually an empty room, and then all of a sudden you're walking down a hallway and all that sort of shit. Like it ended up being pretty cool.
and it gets you hooked. You don't realize, and it accommodates for every player. So if you wanted to, you could have just skipped through that. You didn't have to.
Yeah, you
but
don't
I
have
wanted
to
to
sit
listen
there
to
and
it.
listen to his shit.
Yeah, you could literally, which they're trying to intend you to do, is skip the game. But if you'd spent your time and actually listened, you've got all this nonsense. But he's actually being like philosophical at the same time with everything he's talking about. If you actually took the time to listen to it and maybe not
That's
fall
what I
asleep,
mean. I think like 90% of people would skip
would
through
skip
it.
it. Yeah.
So they'd have the same outcome, but there's a small section of people that'd be different, and they'd be like, "Whoa, that was weird as shit."
And it's just I end up because I got to a certain point of playing it. You could leave a proper review. And do you remember I was trying to copy and paste? Like, I
Yeah,
was
trying
to
to do it.
So I went through that, finally got it saved, but then I couldn't put a review up. And I was looking at people's reviews, and people had already done that, the exact same thing. It's like, fuck, what am I going to do then for when I can actually review the game? So out of all things I decided to do is I went onto Rotten Tomato, looked up The Room, and looked at all the bad reviews that they were given for The Room, copied and pasted those, reworded so it was the Stanley Parable, made it that it was actually a joke on itself, and then like it's actually complimenting the game, but then referring to like every bad review for The Room as this massive paragraph, and then even at the bottom saying comparing this game with The Room, just so people knew that if they clicked on, the whole joke was that it's all this thing. I was like, fuck it, I'm going with it. I'm being this dude's narrator. I'm gonna say.
So you ended up doing that review thing. Yeah, the review.
Yeah, I did another one instead, but
Yeah.
basically did my own and just fucking just this whole fucking paragraph of shit in the review. So I was like, fuck it. But yeah, I still read it out though. I still got on the message that I copied and pasted everything. I had to manually write it all and type it out. I'd play it, wait for them to get the sense up on the screen because I had the thing, and then type it out, let them play, and then type it out again. I was like, fuck, this is taking forever.
Damn.
But it was funny.
Ain't worth it.
Definitely. It's great. Fucking hilarious, but yeah. Definitely recommend Stanley Parable if anyone wants to play that
I've
game.
never even seen it before.
Oh, it's so
I'd
good.
never heard of it until I was watching Dad's play it, and I was like, why the fuck are you playing this? And then like, yeah, half an
I've
hour later,
heard
I
of
was
it.
like, why the fuck am I still watching this?
Yeah. That's like when you play it, you're just like, fuck. And the thing too is when you play the game too, it actually has like in the game itself, when you pause the game and restart, if you get stuck somewhere and you pause the game and restart the game, that in its own is another instance. So everything you do is an
yeah.
instance that it's going to create a new outcome. So,
Damn.
so same as when you play the game and you if you saw that part where I went through and I had into that key in of 2845, I can't remember, but every time if you've done that, if you keep playing the game and you keep doing that instance, when you keep getting to that point, even if you let him say his narration or if you don't, once you've done like 5 or 10 times of you playing the game and you've done that, the game itself goes, hey, you already know the code, you don't need to, hey, let's just open the door for you. So it cuts that out of the game altogether. And
That's
you can just go
cool.
through, and there's little Easter egg parts where there's little secrets you had to use to like speed run the game. They've kind of blocked 1 point off now, which you can't do, but it falls off and you die. You go into a pit, and now that's another ending as well. It's just like fuck me, like everything has an outcome on its own. Like
That's what I want to
something.
see from games. Is like in the near future, it'd be so cool for every
That's what
person to have a
Cyberpunk was
different
meant
ending.
to have.
Yeah,
And like I have not seen any other games like this that has put so much effort into being so like just narratively like expanding, like whatever you do, like literally whatever you do, it will affect. Even when you quit the game and load up again, it's not the original instance ever. You'd have to delete the whole save file and literally start from scratch.
And
get
it's
a
all
new,
in
like,
one
original
go.
instance. Yeah, so it will always be continuing from where you've already. So it already knows that you've done that. And it's
Oh, what
just-
if you done that? It would still be an instance.
you can do the same instance. You can actually loop yourself back on the same instance, but then it's fucked. It's
No, but could you imagine like a sequel where if you delete the game, uninstall it, reinstall it, it's the same thing?
yeah.
oh
There's no stopping the
It just
outcome.
keeps going like. Ooh.
yeah, it's because even when because there's even a thing at the start where when you first load up the game, it tells you to set the time. So you go, okay, set the time, and then you end the game, and then you load the game back up again. It goes, oh, we've seen you set the time. Would you like to set the time again? It's like, okay, set the time, and it goes. Most people don't actually set the time to that. They usually just press enter and continue on. But you've actually taken the time to choose the time. So next time when you load the game up, choose your favorite time. So okay, so I click the game. When I load the game again, it's always set at 12. So I just left it and goes. So it's like you're just making fun of me for like choosing 12 p.m. at night, or is that actually your favorite time? And it goes through all this shit. It's like if you play the game again, quit the game, reload again. We'll have sliders to adjust more settings. And it's like, what the fuck is this game doing? So you quit the game, new instance every time. So every time you close the game and start up again as well, at the start of the very game, you can set the time and do all these different instances on that. So it's just like before you've even started, you can adjust settings and play with shit. It's like
I like that.
fuck.
Right?
So like
That's something.
Yeah.
It's something unique.
So I'm sure there's going to be an answer as well if you set the time for its game, which is 427. If you set the time for 427, that would have an instance on its own because you're employee 427. And I'm
Yeah.
assuming there'll be an instance. I'm hoping, I haven't tried it yet, but I'm hoping they have an instance for putting it as 420. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm assuming being the type of game it is, it would have an instance for 420, presumably,
Good, yeah.
because it's so self-aware of itself that it's just be
It's weird
endless.
that he just sits in an office by himself.
Yeah. Like, there's an instance where you can end up in...
Oh, it's just in the one room, the whole game, is it?
you start off in the office and you walk through the office building. There's different outcomes
Yeah.
where you'll end up in Minecraft at one point and you're building a house, and next minute you end up somewhere else. You can end up in a point where you're in the office. Your office then, while you're playing, shifts to an apartment building, and it changes while you're in that office because you've lived in there. It's this real mind. It's all mind games. It's just...
Yeah, it's like every
Yeah.
time Daz pushed the skip
I would definitely
button,
grab that then.
the wall would be fucked, or the plant was dying, and then the plant was dead, and then the fucking wall was just exploded, and just like,
Yeah, it was daytime and the nighttime, and then it was like that spooky like fucking demon like noise. It was like, what the fuck is that? Like, is someone gonna come? But nothing's gonna come yet. Like, that's how the game runs. But there's just so many different variables.
man.
It's definitely a recommendation, honestly, for anyone that wants to play it. Definitely, like, you can spend so many hours on that game just mindlessly going through, doing all the different shit. Like,
trying to find them all. Yeah,
oh,
I would definitely grab it after that.
it is definitely fun. Like, it seems like it cannot be. Like, I guess some people find it, but like, once you've really got, it's kind of like Rick and Morty. You gotta have that. Well, they say, what's that? The joke about it, where you got to be really like smart to understand the jokes, kind of thing.
So have a sense of humor.
Yeah, and that's what it kind of feels like. There's jokes that will definitely go over a lot of people's heads, and you got to really think with some of these jokes. Like, you got to really have that, like, it's because it's very philosophical. Like, you got to be very prepared for that, I guess. Should it be not necessarily
Yeah.
being smart? Like, you just got to have that right mindset that you can think.
I mean, being smart helps probably,
Like, oh, it's just there's even,
unless you overthink something and then it's just bad.
because I mean, there's even
majority
like,
of things. Yeah.
there's a different mode. Like, there's honestly so many different variable endings. It's just crazy. Fuck, I gotta play more of that later.
It's fucking cool though.
It's such a good game, but yeah, definitely recommend it. You should definitely get it. Like I said, when I had to set my computer 10 hours into the future, 10 years into the future to get that one achievement.
I think they're 10 episodes.
10 hours. Maybe we
Yeah,
are.
the 10 hour. I think on a console, if you do that, it really screws things up though. So
I used to do it all the
don't
time
do it
on
on console. Oh, but
Podcast within a
10
podcast,
years.
Yeah, I used to do that all the time. I used to change regions and times and stuff. So
Because that could expire games and that though. That's the only thing. Yeah,
Oh,
because
yeah.
on someone
licenses.
tried to boot up a PSP, and their licenses were expired because
Yeah.
something went wrong on the time. I'm like,
years, yeah. Because licensing of like
"Ooh."
when licensing
Ah.
will run. So yeah, because games have a licensing to a certain point of period with some games, like they'll be on the disc that they're only set for a certain license coverage for a certain amount of years. That once it gets to that, they're no longer playable because the license ends.
Same
Theoretically
as when you get 'em
speaking,
online.
things will be dead. Companies don't exist. Like, that's what they kind of technically what they're set for is that companies
for
don't
a
exist.
long
and
time,
it's not
though.
there. Yeah. So you could fuck around with shit, send it 10,000 years in the future. Oh fuck, that company, so the code recognizes that it doesn't exist, nothing works, and you brick your system, or your game or something. It's crazy that things are set like that.
Just imagine that, like, you just get a PS5 or Series X, you put it 10 years ahead, and it just bricks it. Like, oh,
Like,
like
I
this
had an instance of that in the car world. Like, last week I brought an intercooler for the car I'm building, and it was $1,100, and they sent me the wrong intercooler, the same size and everything, and I was like, what the fuck, that's weird. And it was a cheaper intercooler. Like, this intercooler was probably $400 or $500. I'm like, that's weird, like, what the hell? And I emailed them, and they're like, hey, our company's gone basically belly up. We don't stock those
why'd they
anymore.
give you?
So we've given you the cheaper option, same size and everything that you asked for. I was like, yeah, that's sweet, but I'm not paying $1,100 for something that fucking I can get from another supplier for $400. And they're like, oh no, that's fine. Like, we're giving you your money back. We're just giving you the item as well. And I was just like, I'm so confused.
now
With
you-
what's like? This is why
Yeah.
you've gone belly up.
Because you keep fucking up. You keep fucking sending people the wrong thing because you've gone, oh, we'll just send them that because we don't have the actual parts. So instead of just refunding canceling, we'll just send them that and go, oh, fuck, we made a mistake. Here's your money back as well. It's like, well, yeah,
why
no,
you send an
shit.
email
You've got no
You're
stock
literally
and no
out
money.
of pocket $600 now.
You've pocketed twice. No money and no product. Sorry, like. And
That's what
you're
I thought. I
giving
was
bad
like,
service
what?
because now people are confused getting the wrong product. And it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
eBay. That's
Oh,
all I got.
eBay. Sketchy.
But no, what was I gonna say? But yeah, no, definitely check that other game out. Fuck. I was gonna lead in from. So while I was gonna come back, my brain's just having a brain fart moment.
Yeah, it's just gone.
So what I was gonna go from when we were talking about basically game movies, was there was a list that was curated from Reddit, I guess. And these are like the, I guess, top 10 list of games they want turned into movies. So I don't know. I thought it seemed pretty interesting. I was like, since I'm talking about Sonic, I might as well.
Oh, but I can guess 2 of them though. Yeah.
Yeah. So we can maybe drop that first if you want to drop your guesses.
Fancy.
So yeah, so we got the top 10. So Jim, you got your guesses?
God of War and Gears of War.
Oh, Judde, you got any guesses? You got any guesses? What could be on this list?
You have to repeat that. I was fucking busy.
So, video games that should be made into movies, according to Reddit. So it's the top recommended.
Gears of War would be fucking sick.
Yeah.
Because I actually
So that's
like
what you
that
would want. Gears of War.
Yeah, Gears of War would be cool because it'd be. I think
It would be pretty good as a movie or a TV show or something. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, like the special effects and that involved in a Gears of War movie would be fucking
Unfortunately,
There's so much lore they haven't put in the games as well.
But unfortunately, Gears of War isn't on the list apparently.
What?
Yeah.
Everyone wants that though. What the fuck?
So I don't
It'd
know.
be something stupid. Grand Theft
I mean, it is
Auto.
Reddit.
So the list. So reading from 10 to 1. So I'm guessing 1 being the most demanding, 10 being typical. Still demanding, but it's the top 10 list. So number 10 is a Splinter Cell movie.
Oh yeah.
That wouldn't.
say it, but
I mean, it's typical Tom Clancy. It makes kind of sense.
Yeah, but
Number 9.
Hitman went.
how did that Tom Clancy movie go? Did you just ever see it, or is it
Which
out
ones?
yet?
There's many.
The one that like come out last year or year before, maybe. I
The
seen
one
it in the cinemas.
that was.
Never seen it.
Oh, which one are we talking about? The one with Tom
Or
Cruise.
it might not be out
That
yet.
one. And that was the one
It
that
was
had.
Tom Clancy.
What's it called?
There was one on Amazon which had Michael B. Jordan. That was that one. That was
Oh
on Amazon.
yeah.
That was pretty good.
Can't remember the name of it. Had to do with Siege or something, wasn't it? Like a Rainbow Six thing.
Yeah, one of the Rainbow
yeah.
Six stories. That was one of the Rainbow Six stories.
Yeah.
So I mean, a lot of this stuff is Tom Clancy. I mean, they wouldn't be too bad. It would depend on how you do the narrative, where you go.
You can't just copy paste another thing. That's
Yeah.
It'd be like watching Shooter or American Sniper.
but they're good though.
They are very good movies, but.
Number 9 was, and these are actually specific. They're also based off specific games for that year. So that was 2002's Splinter Cell. They wanted a movie based off that apparently. Another one would number 9 is God of War 2018.
That one's obvious.
Yeah,
Jim would be like, fucking.
but we have heard a lot of
boys.
numbers about that too, so it'd be good to see that. Number 8 is Half-Life 1998. They want to.
How would that? I mean,
It'd be very
people, that's what
interesting.
they want, but do they translate? Look at
And that's
Exactly
exactly this
right.
is where the question comes from. This
Assassin's
is
Creed didn't like that.
I mean, I enjoy it, but yeah, I know what you mean. I do see where people come from.
Like-
It took a while for it to grow on me. Like the first time I saw it, I was very like complacent. Like, what the fuck is this?
Half-Life still, that's more of
Second
a
time,
game,
third
like,
time, it grew on me, and I kind of liked the Assassin's Creed movie. Like after you've watched it, and it kind of.
It already flopped. They're not doing another
Yeah.
one.
But that's exactly why I was curious about this list, because it'd be definitely curious to see what you guys think of this list. Which I was like,
Like
Very taken
Half-Life,
back
you
a little
can't make into a movie or a show. Like you can't. Like it just wouldn't fit.
it's a very particular narrative, because even the concept is it's a lab. Age, like how would you feel? How would you go the narrative? Like you follow, Gordon, like going to work like normal, and next one's like is it a horror? I guess it would be a horror movie.
Then
So,
that'd
like,
be boring because it's just like a dude doing his job, and then
it'd be like the Resident Evil movie all over again. Like go to
Which-
job, shit goes to shit, thing goes out. What he's gonna start killing all the monsters, and then you're watching like Doom or again Resident Evil, where
Yeah,
it's like the
so, nah.
protagonist is just super badass, taking on everything and just killing everything.
keep it as a game.
7 was Red Dead Redemption 2. I mean,
That's already a movie.
that's what I'm getting at. Like, which is
Yeah.
weird. Like, why would you want to watch that when you've played that game? The story is already there and it's already flushed out. Like, why would you want to watch it? Like,
You've got the
like-
whole story if you played the game.
like I could understand a movie being in that universe, so it being a Red Dead
Yeah.
Redemption
The Red Dead
or
game,
Red
yeah.
Dead, like being like Red Dead whatever, like. But like, yeah, being very specific, which is weird. But like, if it was set in the universe, hey, I'm down for that. But
I'd
basically
like
for
to see
game,
like John
whole new
Marston's
characters,
father.
like a young Dutch, maybe like do something
yeah,
like that.
Yeah.
or seeing like the story of his son,
John?
was it John's son,
Oh.
Jack?
Oh,
Jack.
Jack.
Like imagine seeing a
Jack
movie
Marston,
following
yeah.
him.
Have they
or
wrote that though? Like, are they just putting there and
he was just there at the end and you just roamed around.
Yeah,
and that was it.
you
There wasn't much
play-
to it.
You're paying for a little bit, and that's about
It's
it.
like maybe something
Mm.
to do with that, or it could be,
That pissed me off when Red Dead 2 came out. I was like, fuck yeah, like, where's Jack gonna go? And it was like,
it was a prequel.
here's Dutch. It's like, who the fuck's Dutch? What the fuck? Why? Why are we here?
Arthur Morgan.
you play the first one then, Judde?
Yeah, I finished the first one. But I
Yeah.
was keen to go off, like, as
Continue
Jack.
on,
I wanted to continue on when it was, like, the backstory. I was like, John's dead. What is going on right now? I literally, as a
And now
child,
he's
witnessed
alive.
him get
He's-
shot
yeah.
like 40 times.
Yep.
I gave it a go. I gave it a red hot dip when I opened them barn doors. I was like, fucking tried tagging
Right.
every single one of those
Right.
motherfuckers.
I'm sure I've watched someone do a thing of it too, where they actually had it. Like no matter what you did, he still died. Like I watched someone play, and they
Yeah.
actually took out everyone, but somehow he still got shot. Like even if you were good at it, he fucking died, shot everyone in the fucking head. Everyone dropped, but he still got shot and died. It's like what? There's no one else there, but it's still like, come on.
His missus,
What's
John's missus dies too, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
Or
died
is it
later on. She
Undead
dies later on.
Nightmare, I know
Yeah.
she dies.
That's
Because
yeah.
Because
that
she was
would be
alive
good.
when he died, so
She
Mm.
turns into the zombie and Undead Nightmare.
that's not official. That's just a DLC.
That's
like
just a
that's
fun
a,
thing.
Yeah.
that's a zombie part. Yeah,
Alter
which is
somewhere else.
probably the best game, really.
So
It was a fucking good game, yeah.
good.
I get the zombie of the fucking by the rope and just going by the horse.
Yeah. Put him on the
Oh.
train tracks and shit.
when
Yeah.
Rockstar were actually having fun. Nonsensical.
Right.
What was number 8?
Red Dead 2 was fun.
So before that was Half-Life we had. So now we're done with 7. So now we're down to 6. So number 6 is Far Cry 3 2012.
It can't,
Again, like we've already
Yeah.
got the story. Like I can understand we have had a movie that has already, which is funny enough. Like it's interesting that people are wanting movies based off games that we've already played the story of.
why they got numbered
Yeah.
stuff?
Like
Yeah,
why?
yeah.
Like not something that's in that universe.
Say a
Why
Far Cry
is
movie.
Far Cry
Yeah.
movie, exactly.
And if
right.
we were to say that we have had a Far Cry movie by Yu Boll.
Yeah.
He made a Far
Yeah.
Cry movie which was kind of based off the first Far Cry game. So technically we have had a game based off a movie based off a game. But
It didn't do that well, so
It's- yeah.
potential is no more.
Did you see that TikTok video of the dude do a Far Cry heel? He comes
Oh,
off his
yeah.
motorbike and his finger snapped and he's just like, oh shit, pops it back into place. Just pumped on adrenaline and it's like, yo shit, that guy just did a Far Cry heel on himself.
uh,
It works. It works, man.
it would have been
the
funny,
fingers.
like dude's on fire and he's just like, cracks the finger back into place, it's out of fire.
Yeah.
That's always one of my
Yeah.
favorite ones in Far Cry. You're like on fire, burning in Far Cry 2. You're like, and he's just like, cracks. Oh, you're no longer. What is that got to do with fire? Or like you have like you get some like the time where like you're getting shot at. Like you get used to dig out the old bullet wound. You fucking get the thing,
Yeah.
dig the bullet out.
With
Yeah,
a knife
dude,
and
yeah.
just flick it.
I remember one time I
Smoke
got
the cigar.
shot. Yeah, well, I remember one time getting shot and he's just like, and it's like a twig. He rips a twig. And I'm like, when did the tree? When it's like, why are these people shooting trees at me? Like, it got broken after a while. It was so funny. But like, I don't know. That's exactly it. Like, where would you would have to be within that world of Far Cry, like doing specifically its own chapter, following its own protagonist with its own villain, being in its own like
You
narrative.
can't make it a game like same as Half-Life. You can't make it a specific thing.
Yeah, I reckon before they made Far Cry 6, Far Cry 6 would have made a good movie.
Oh yeah, oh fuck yeah.
That was a
With
fucking good game.
with Anton.
Definitely
Yeah.
sound like it
Being,
would have been good
real.
as a good movie, and I don't know, because it sounds cool for a game, but yeah, with how they advertised it and how they got like everything done, would have made sense for a film. Like they could have
Yeah.
just done a TV show
Yeah,
or a
they'd-
film straight up, like just
They'd
done it.
already done like all the CGI shit, having him in the game and stuff. So
It's crazy that they could have done something with that, and then
If they
like,
did that live action, that would have been amazing still because
Like-
that dude's intimidating as fuck. Like watch Breaking
yeah,
Bad and
he
Better
plays
Call
a
Saul.
badass dude, especially in, like Breaking Bad and shit. And
the Mandalorian, he was good in that.
yeah, he's a good actor.
Right? Apparently he's there could be a spin-off Breaking Bad one with about Gus, man.
Yes, exactly. Following him, like
I
leading
did
into his
read
story.
that a week ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're
They,
looking.
he could be
Hey,
down
he'd
to
be
do
I
it.
will froth the shit out of that. And Better Call Saul, Jesse and Walter coming back in the last season apparently.
Mm.
So I've started watching it because I was like,
That's gonna be weird because it's at the start of Breaking Bad. Like, how are they gonna like de-age Aaron Paul for this?
yeah,
You got
yeah.
like
So
the scrawny kid back then.
I was watching it and I was like, I don't reckon I'm gonna like this, like a lawyer and shit. And then
It's really expanding
when
the
I
world.
seen Tuco, I was like, dude, I'm like, all right, I'm into this shit
That was a
now.
big surprise. I'm like, how is he? And then I'm like, I get it now.
It's very early on,
Yeah.
yeah. It's to show like all the cross betweens of how many times people have come in contact with each other and without realizing that they were related and it all tied into the story. Really
That's
blows
what
up the
made me
prequel to
like,
it all.
I'm gonna like this show.
So
That's why I just
technically,
kept
you've got
watching.
to watch Better Call Saul and then Breaking Bad now. Like, you've got to watch that
Yeah,
first.
that's right.
And
To
then
really
that.
get in deep to realize like this was deeper than than the show showed it was. Breaking Bad showed it was deep and everything was intertwined. This really blows it out of the water. Like
Yeah,
everything was
It's
intertwined.
just sad though
like,
because
I've got people
um,
that have never watched Breaking. They're like, no, I don't think I'd be into it. I'm like, dude, you wait like 4 episodes and it's fucking intense. It's like so
Yeah.
good. Like
It's
he
just
chokes
crazy.
him out with the fucking bike lock. Like it's
Right?
it's sick.
It's just crazy
Right?
nonsense for that whole
he
show.
puts him on the fucking thing and it gives a little plate of stuff every now and again.
Yeah,
Bucket.
and then he
Like,
puts
there's so
weight
many-
in the bin.
So many memorable moments in that show.
Like,
Like,
if he could smashed it.
so many
Yeah,
moments.
he took the fucking sharp bit.
He did nothing with it though. I
No.
don't remember.
He stabs him
Ah.
in the leg as he
Oh
as he
yeah.
chokes him. He fucking bangs
Yeah.
him in the leg.
So
Dude,
it's just
that's
like
fucking so
I gets a pole. He's just like choking
Yep.
him out. Fuck that.
That's why I
Imagine
watched
going like
Mayans
that.
because I like Sons of Anarchy, and Mayans is the post Jack's Teller world, and it's fucking so good.
Because they were like the
'Cause-
Mayans, especially the original Sons of Anarchy, weren't they? Something like that, like the original group or something that set
Nah, so the Mayans
Wasn't
are the
it? Or-
Mexican.
The other
Yeah,
side things.
people
Like,
in
it
the
was supposed to,
town
and a
over or something.
I can't
Padre.
remember. Was something supposed
Um,
to? Did it show them? Like it showed the original Sons of, like it was meant to be.
No, it
Oh,
continued
someone was
on.
saying like, oh no, something that either showed some stuff before it as well. or
Did they
something.
mention like Jackson or that in there? I reckon they would.
they know that he's dead, and Happy, and that's in it. But the guy
Okay.
that they pick up on the last season of Sons of Anarchy from the other charter that buddy, what's
see,
his
yeah.
name? Bobby brings in. Yeah, he's the president in Mayans.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
Marcus, that's the president of the Mayans in Sons of Anarchy. He
Hmm.
leaves to join the cartel, but
Yeah.
Oh,
now in season 4 they've got him back as the president to fix the club because it's all fucked. And he like walks in and the club's that
Coincidence?
fucked that the Mayans are fighting each other. And he
Ooh.
walks in and he's like, "This is my fucking club." And I was like, "Oh, this is sick." And it just goes to a black screen. And I was like, "Yeah, he's back."
That's
And
great.
yeah, season
that
4 has
shit
been
gonna go
fucking
down.
so good. Yeah, if you're looking for something to watch, Mayans.
Yeah,
Ooh,
apparently it's doing it
binge.
pretty good.
The first 2 seasons, I will admit, I was like, this is real low budget and pretty shit. Like the rats and shit are CGI. But
The rats. Oh my
yeah,
god.
like it's pretty bad. The first 2 seasons are like a tester as like, will we get a contract sort of thing. And now they're like, yeah,
Sons of
blowing it out.
Anarchy did so well, and then he made that. Like, you think it would carry on, wouldn't you? Like the same
Yeah,
production
literally,
value.
like
And
it's like you've seen what he can do. Let the dude do his thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Just-
you know.
People get hesitant because they think, oh, it's a continuation, it's different. Oh, what's gonna happen?
Yeah, exactly right. They're
I did
like, "Well,
Yeah, I did hear the end
Can
of
it
like
keep
towards Sons of
going?
Anarchy got a bit weird from what I heard. So maybe that's
Oh,
why
it was so
it
fucking
bled
good
over.
though.
I lost a lot of interest in Sons of Anarchy when they went to Belfast.
Yeah,
That
Oh,
dragged
that just
on.
and
dragged.
I
Right.
think that's where it
dude.
started going downhill. It started changing, and they're like, oh.
That's why they started killing off so many main
I mean,
characters.
it was
I think.
needed though, just to
Yeah.
push the story forward.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, 'cause I remember, didn't that dude die? The creator who played the character in the blind guy. Is he in Mayans or at all?
Otto.
Yeah.
He,
Didn't he
nah,
die in the?
he's
thing?
still alive, I think. Yeah.
Oh fuck!
Yeah, someone did die. Or like, you mean in real life or in the movie?
In the show.
In the show. Yeah,
character
Otto
started off.
dies. Yeah. Yeah, he kills the detective Well, he's not a detective, but
Yeah,
he's,
that's right. Yeah.
I can't remember, so I'm just.
Otto stabs his sister, which was the nurse with the cross.
Oh God,
then
fuck yeah.
That bloke tries to get
yeah.
revenge on Otto, and then Otto
I
fucking.
remember. Yeah, he was in the
Such a
fucking
memory.
room.
You know, that's fucked because I can't remember TV shows, but you asked me Breaking Bad and Sons of Anarchy and Mayans. I'm all
Well,
like,
the biggest thing, every time I think of Breaking Bad, anyone goes, "Do you remember Breaking Bad?" And I always remember fucking Bryan Cranston walking outside, got the fucking pizza, and he goes, "Ah!" I always fucking remember that scene in my head.
Up on the roof.
Yeah, fucking yeets
they
the
actually
pizza.
had heaps of trouble. The owner of that house, people were throwing fucking pizzas on the roof.
Yeah.
They had to fence it off and shit because people were lobbing pizzas on the roof.
I don't blame him. Come back to the
Because he's
list.
so calm, then just yeets.
Yeah, we've fucking floated away again.
We're only halfway through it, and we got off. Again, another numbered one, which makes no sense. For number 5 was Resident Evil 4, which
But we've got Resident Evil movies.
that's what I mean. Like, but I guess I want it to be more like the game specifically.
Yeah,
You can't do that. They don't
Yeah,
work as a
stop.
movie then.
just this whole thing. Just stop
Yeah.
putting
Yep.
numbers to shit.
I mean, Gears of War and God of War makes sense. The only two ones so far.
I mean, if you go by specifically just being God of War, like, you can do anything with those
Yeah.
characters, like,
Yeah.
within that realm of doing stuff.
well, God
like,
of War 4 is God of War. So, being that, of course.
Again, it's kind of numbered specifically. They wanted to be based, like, it gets weird. Like, again, you could do an adaptation like this next one, number 4, being Shadow of the Colossus. That I could understand being a movie. I mean, it would mostly expand
Yeah,
more.
boring movie, like, really.
I mean, it'd be kind of fun watching him race around on the horse, be like, yeah, and then
No.
and then climbing the fucking giant fucking monsters and shit and taking them down. Like, that'd be kind of fun.
There's a reason it hasn't. That game is like 20 years old. Like, they would have made one by now.
They remastered it, so
Yeah,
it's a great game.
years ago. But, like,
I got it remastered for PS4.
wouldn't be a good movie. It'd have to be a quick one, like an hour and a half.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Number 3 was Bully. Someone wanted a movie on that.
Yeah,
Which, again, it's like,
there's no fucking like.
if you're gonna
that's
say
fucking
like
stupid.
like what you would have.
That's already
again,
a thing. Like,
Yeah, that's the biggest thing, which I can understand. But I mean, it's kind of funny when you look at most of these. At least with Sonic, they did make their own story. Like, it's not
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the original story. Uncharted was an adaptation.
Bully's a high school thing. That's it. Like,
Yeah, like
that's
it's
a
like
thing. That's many
every
movies.
high school movie ever.
Yeah.
That's a musical.
They've already
Um,
made them.
But that's what I mean. Comparing to the list of what's been top grossing, like Uncharted,
Like,
it gets ideas from the base source materials, but does its own. And then
Yeah.
Detective Pikachu gets the base idea, but it changed it to its own. Because like in Detective Pikachu, it was basically his dad and Pikachu kind of like became as one. But in Detective Pikachu, it was a little bit different. It's like the actual game, it was different. How it was done, it wasn't the same kind of concept of how they done. Like, they made it their own to work within the universe.
Yeah, Pikachu
And
can
then-
just talk.
Yeah, so it's interesting. So it really shows that people going, I want these games to be turned into movies. Like, what? Like, it's interesting that these people have this on this list. So
Deadpool is Pikachu.
number 2 was Hotline Miami.
I mean, done before as well. Like, that's pretty much
Just basic
Reservoir
brutal-
Dogs
yeah,
and
violent kind of conflict. It would be definitely a Quentin Tarantino.
that's a
production.
broad thing. Like, it's just
Yeah, I was about
violent.
to say that.
Dude walks in with a fucking chicken head on and just takes down some mobsters or some shit. Like, I mean, it'd be kind of
We've
cool
seen
to
that
watch.
tons of
It would be
times.
kind of cool, but it'd be basically like John Wick, but with a chicken head. Dude with a fucking...
Yeah, like,
I mean, that would be kind of badass. I mean, actually, kind of thinking about it, John Wick, dude fucking getting shit, and then he's this dude with a fucking like a jockey outfit,
Fucking bell
like
fucking suit.
the school jocks, and he's got the fucking chicken head or a fucking sheep's head, fucking Martin. He's walking around with a baseball bat, fucking doing those fucking cool combats, shooting and shit. Like, I mean, it's very straightforward, cut laced John Wick, but it's a dude
Yeah.
in a chicken costume.
also-
Like, that would be kind of fun. It'd be
these
more of a
games
fun
make
film.
no sense.
Number 1 on this list is
Don't say GTA.
no.
don't
It's
fucking
actually
say GTA.
kind of an interesting twist here. You might be surprised by this one. So number 1 is Kane and Lynch.
That would work.
Mm.
That would work because
It's two. Well, again, it's. I mean, I still see John Wick, but with 2 people. It's not just one guy. It's 2
not
people.
necessarily. I mean,
But yeah, there's,
yeah,
there's
but this
story
is a
there.
lot worse than John Wick. Like, this is a lot more violent, a lot more graphic.
But there's a lot of story there as well.
Ken Lynch got censored, I'm pretty sure, back in the day.
Oh, it was crazy. It was
What is
insane.
that? The
just got a
sequel just
Snapchat from one of my friends, and I don't know if you can see it, but I think he might be in a bit of trouble.
I'm alright,
Getting
boys.
arrested.
That's
That's
hilarious.
hilarious. So that's what I mean. So it is interesting seeing some of
Like
these
two
games,
things. Okay, 3 games make sense.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's
Some of
7
them,
that
some of
don't.
them, it just feels like, what are you gonna get out of that? Like Bully, what are you gonna get out of that? It's just a high school
Yeah.
teen movie, like
Like,
a
I know
typical teen
people
movie
want
with
the
just
remake
fuckery
of
and
the
nonsense.
game, but
mean,
why the fucking movie?
Shadow of Colossus would be cool, but it's just very, yeah, like I said, it is very bait. Like it'd be cool seeing like climbing and
It wouldn't
That'd
like.
be
There's
very-
no dialogue in that game. Really, it's just boring. Like he's got no one to talk to.
I feel like it'd be definitely a very art house film if someone was to pick up one of those very artsy kind of studio
Just one-
directors,
never been.
and it'd be like an indie film. Resident Evil, like we've got more than enough Resident Evil, and they're trying to specifically state
There's
on
9
something.
movies.
Yeah, Far Cry
Go
we've
watch
already
them.
got. We've already got Red Dead. Honestly, if you were to do something in the universe, but if you want something Western, there's plenty of Westerns out there.
Yeah,
Go watch
like-
all the John Wayne movies and
John
that.
Wayne, Clint Eastwood, there's plenty of Westerns out there. Half-Life, I mean, we've seen how Doom and Halo's gone so far. God of War, that would be good. Splinter Cell, I mean, yeah, I mean, we've got plenty of Tom Clancy films, but hey.
Look at
you know,
Hitman. That's the same thing, really.
That's what I mean. So, it is interesting what people are after, but it's just like, that's why I was very curious. Like, this is a very interesting list.
I mean, where's the games like Man-Eater? That'd be a good fucking movie.
Like, a shark, like, going around, just hunting,
It's like Jaws
Like-
on steroids.
like
that,
Jaws, but
mutates
from the
and
shark's
shit, like-
perspective, like not from like the ship's perspective. Like this
humans
is from the
yeah.
sharks. That would be kind of
Put
cool.
a GoPro on a shark who wants to evolve, and
Just CG the whole
that'd be
film.
dope. There's so many you just pick from. Like,
Mm.
I could look over there and like, imagine a Ghostwire one. Like, that'd be dope. Like with those powers and shit. Like, have a movie. Oh
I'm
boy.
just surprised like we haven't, because they've got this other list of like important games in history that I was going to go through.
Where's Horizon? That'd be a fucking awesome
exactly
movie.
like where's Horizon? Where's like Wolfenstein? You know, like
Jeez.
where's
Wolfenstein's are probably a bit of a touchy one for a movie. You might have to remove a few racist things.
But that's the whole point of it, though. That's the whole point. It was to throw that, you know,
But
alternate
there's
reality.
Hitler in there. You don't really want to put that in a, I mean, you can in a movie,
I
but
mean,
like...
Taika Waititi
they-
basically made a movie where he played Hitler.
Yeah, no,
They're
but
doing
like, he
Glorious
made it
Bastards,
fun, though.
Yeah.
Wolfenstein's not fun. It's more of like a dark.
Yeah, but that was the whole point. It was to, you know, take down fucking Hitler and everything, and trying to, and what would happen
It's
if
funny.
it
You can
failed.
actually kick him in the balls. Like in Wolfenstein, you just kick him in the balls and shit.
Oh, that is
The
great.
original COD Zombies and that had the swastika, didn't they?
Yeah,
Or was, yeah.
but not now.
They
Nah,
censored
not
that
that,
completely.
yeah.
But I mean, it's kind of it feels weird though, because I mean, you're breaking. I mean, yeah, it makes fun of history, but like that is history. You can't really censor history. Like that's something
No.
that's happened. That's a symbol that's existed.
No one does it anymore.
You know,
like,
like, that's
they're
what I
not
mean.
really-
Why can't it be spoken about?
Like,
I
why is
mean,
people still so
Nazis are still a thing.
sensitive
Like,
against
they
it? Like,
are still
yeah.
a thing.
Yeah,
like-
yeah.
We know, but that's the thing. Like, why censor the image from them? Because we know what that symbol stood for. We knew it stood for hate and what they were doing. But like, that's a part of history. You can't erase history. Like, you can't
Just
erase
because
the
you
fact that these
don't show it
soldiers.
in the game, it doesn't
Yeah.
exist anymore.
Exactly. Like, you can't like these
Like
soldiers.
keep it
wore
on
that.
the enemy. Like
Like you're killing them anyway. Like that's it's showing you that you're fighting Nazis.
you're
Maybe if
against
like
it.
if you're playing as a protagonist and like I mean there is that sequence in Wolfenstein you disguise as a Nazi and you're wearing but like you were
that's a
undercover,
lot
you're wearing
different.
them. But if you specifically had a game where you were designed to be a Nazi and
there
kill
probably is one somewhere.
and kill, you know, Jews, like that's a game where I can understand being like, no, you shouldn't be fucking doing this. Like that getting cancelled and canned because that's being propaganda, like supporting evil and disgusting, you know, behavior. Like that I can understand. That's why it gets a bit weird when there's like that mission in COD where it's the no Russian, where it's like going through the airport. Like that's
It's not even
because
that bad. I've done worse
yeah.
in video
I know,
games.
but I can
like-
understand it's the sequence is because you are as the terrorists going through the
Yeah.
airport killing innocents. Like
Well, you can
that's
do it in
why.
GTA.
So, just on this whole
Yeah.
Nazi topic, in town here, there's like where I live is only a small town of like fucking 6,000 people, but someone climbed the
6,000.
telephone tower and fucking
Put a Nazi.
fuck?
They climbed the whole fucking telephone tower. And
That fucking
Flag.
effort. That fucking effort.
That's
To,
so
When was
fucking
that?
high up. This is, it was last year, I think.
the commitment
Oh,
just to do
damn.
that though, like. I'm very torn because like it's wrong that it's a Nazi flag, but at the same time, I kind of commend them for their fucking commitment, the
Yeah.
effort to fucking do that. Like,
At least
it's,
put a proper flag.
I mean, it would have been
They
great if
put
it was
a
just a
Chinese
flag with
flag,
like.
They put a Chinese flag and then the other flag.
Oh,
You
it's
just give me
slow-mo
the
wo-
finger test.
How I had a lisp when I was saying flag, and I said it without the L. And it would be cool if they had a flag up on there, you know, with a finger. I was going to say a flag with a, but I said it'd be funny if they had a fag with a finger. Oh, sorry everybody, that was a fucking slur in my mouth. Yeah, I was going to say it would be funny if it was just a flag with the finger, so it's just wailing in the fin. With the fin in the wind, fucking I just
Fucking,
Mr.
it's like
Bean.
pretty Mr. Bean going like that.
Yeah, it's
Oh, I
everybody.
hate when I get tongue-tieds. Fuck.
Oh, fuck off me.
I mean, I commend any person climbing up there and putting the pole up their ass. Fuck. Even if
That's
they do
right.
that, jeez. Just, I mean, that's what I mean. It gets very weird where it's like, and people will construe it too because you commend someone for climbing up there, but because it's a race, you know, a political, you know, a Nazi flag. Oh, you're supporting that? No, I don't support.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, it's weird in this day and age where you get now. It's like people try to, because I was watching a lot of the Amber Heard versus Johnny Depp trials and stuff like that, and Amber's like lawyers are all been like everything they're trying to take out of context to be like, oh no, but you agreed to this. Like, no, but there's context to that, and it's fucking hilarious watching them trying to like, but you agreed to that.
They only
You
put
agreed to
half
this.
a fucking
You said
clip
yes
on
to this.
too.
And you can see like all these people trying to explain things, but they're trying to like entrap them in saying yes to things, but there's a reason why they said yes to it. There's a whole explanation of what happens in these situations to why that's that outcome and why they agreed to it. Not just, we just agreed to it so, you know, the other party's in the wrong. It's like, that's not how that works. Like, there's a bigger picture to it all. And they know that they're losing, then they're trying to pick at, like, these little
That's
things
right.
and trying to catch them out. And
I like the bit where they asked Johnny a question and he like he puts a bit of a pun in there and wastes a bit of time and they're like buddy go, oh, if you couldn't waste the court's time, he's like, no, you're right, I'm sorry, you just spent 5 minutes searching for a document.
yeah.
It like goes to the real time but sped up like 10 times and they're like running back around the courtroom trying to find a document.
Yeah, and you're saying I'm wasting time? Yeah, exactly. There's so many
You know,
times where they've had that.
He's been such a smart ass on that trial.
Yeah.
Like Johnny
Oh.
Depp has been like low key taking jabs at everyone.
When he's, but have you noticed though? If you watch the clips, you see him when he's on the mantle. He keeps the best straight face he can, but he does little smirks and chuckles. As soon as he's off the stand, the camera's still on him.
He's like-
You see him fucking crack himself up, and he's laughing. He's wiping tears out of his eyes. He's fucking hilarious when he watches like everyone else up on the stand.
It's because
the,
of his witnesses. Like
Yeah.
they're funny as shit because they're right.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like they're
But-
proving her wrong.
But like
by
even
a
Amber's
mile.
like it looks like she's getting mad at her lawyers because like
Oh,
you see all the
she
stuff
would
they've been
be.
saying and like there was like the question where she like he was the Amber's lawyer was trying to compare the size of Johnny. He was trying to say that he was bigger, like overempowering.
Like-
He's trying to entrap him into like
he's like,
make
I
him
wouldn't
sound
say that.
yeah. He's like trying to trap him to say like, oh, because you're a man, you're bigger, you're more scarier.
Yeah.
Like he was trying to trap him to say that he's scary and intimidating for being a man. Because I've been in that situation, honestly. Like I had the situation with that at work where I was getting
Women
turned
are
on saying I was
crazy, though.
intimidated. Like no, like I was intimidated. Like I felt intimidated, not the other way around. Like how was I being intimidated just because I'm a man and I'm larger
Yeah, in
proportions?
that,
Like
yeah.
it's disgusting how they do that, and it's true. They try to entrap people, and he's like,
I like
no, it's
where
like.
he goes, did I read that right, Mr. Depp? Yep. Did you read that right, Mr. Depp? Yep.
Yeah.
Did I read that right? You continue to read them right, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just
It's
love
like you're
it.
making a fucking like a little jab there too. Like,
But like that's exactly it. So was it when they compared the size? He goes, "If I were last recalled, me and Amber are the exact same size," and she's like, for fuck's sake, and she like laughs at it herself.
yeah.
She's like chuckled herself at the fucking thing. She's like, and she like fucking just like laughs under her lip, like for fuck's
It
sake.
was
Like,
so serious though. Just like, well, I wouldn't say that.
but like my favorite part though out of all is the hearsay. Like every time he's
Yes.
like, and he's just like,
Oh.
and he waited, he would say something, and he would like.
He said,
Okay, and you go on, and then one of them, he's like, so himself, he was saying something, he goes, looks over, he goes, I'm guessing that's a hearsay, and they're like, yes. It's like, for fuck,
What
even
about
he
the
learned.
one where
He learned
he
himself.
the lawyer asked the question. The lawyer asked Johnny's witness a question, and then the lawyer's like, "Objection, hearsay," and then the judge was like, "You asked the question."
You asked the question.
Yeah.
Like, they just.
And Johnny's like, what a dickhead.
But there's even a breakdown of some stuff too. So there's been so many different things people have been digging up on all the trials and stuff, and someone had dug up old footage of like an event where Johnny Depp was walking down and like getting autographs, and people like in the crowds going getting photos and stuff, and they had zoomed in on one shot of this lady. And I don't know if you've seen the clip. There's an old lady, and she's in the crowd, and it's like zoomed in. It's Amber Heard's lawyer. It's her literal lawyer was at a thing trying to get a photo and autograph from Johnny Depp at one of those things from years before, like 10 years before or something.
How does it? What I want to know, how does that come about? Does she go, "I was there that night," and people look for her, or is like someone just like watch it like,
wait a second,
Amber Heard's lawyer? What
yeah,
the
like
fuck?
I don't get people, but it's just fucking hilarious. Like, just all the stuff that's been happening, and then that other dude, the dude where they had like a pre-recorded interview with, like back in January, and he's like sitting in his car, and he's, like,
that
you
dude's
see now he's
hilarious.
vaping and shit.
I
And he
missed
goes,
that one.
oh,
I
like,
don't remember that. I don't remember that.
Yeah,
I
they
don't
go through
remember that.
asking like, would you notice if she had like blush on? Would you notice she had her eyebrows done? Would you notice she had lipstick on? And it's like, how am I supposed to know these things? This happened years ago. I'm done with this. You need to stop asking me these questions. Like, trying to go to the deep. He goes, the only thing I remember is like, he talked about like the scratching at the bottom of the door because like his English is a
like
bit
someone's
broken.
trying to break in 4 inches from the ground.
Yeah, Amber was reporting that someone was trying to break into the apartment, and he goes, "It was 4 inches from the
inches.
ground. It's the dogs. You had dogs. They scratched at the door." And it's like, you're trying to claim that someone was breaking into your apartment. You have dogs. It was your dog
Which were
scratching at the
out
door.
because they're trying to get back in.
Yeah, and he's like, "This is dumb." And
I
then
didn't
it was
realize she had a fling with Elon Musk.
yeah, and even he got a few shiners from her.
He's going to be a witness for Depp soon, I think, too.
Well, apparently
because
he's one of
they don't
Amber's.
get along. I don't think.
Yeah, he's apparently on Amber's side, but because him and Johnny don't get along.
Yeah.
But you can see clearly he's had a few
That's
shiners.
still wrong, though, because
She's just disgusting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's lost it. And what pisses me off is girls are like, I've seen on like Instagram and that, they're like, oh, males only care about this case and blah 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 because he's winning. It's like, no, males care about this case because it's the first time in like history that a male is actually being proven that he hasn't done something wrong.
Yep.
And his whole fucking reputation's been tarnished for something he didn't do.
Yeah. It's finally something's happening for male like domestic violence, like any kind of. It's finally happening.
But also, everyone treated him guilty straight away, though, for some reason.
And that's exactly it. Everyone believed her straight up, even though you could clearly tell that she was disgusting and foul, and she'd been doing shit. You could clearly see it.
Disney fucked him over. Where I get that they're in a tough situation, but
but they should have waited.
Everyone's innocent until proven guilty. So why?
Exactly. Why did they drop him straight away? And that's what the whole case is about. Everyone dropped him, and he lost so much money from just because she said something. And it wasn't even at the time when she said these things. It wasn't even directed at him or saying it was him. And people just assumed, it was Johnny Depp, and he lost his jobs and stuff.
See,
it's
what
like,
I want,
fucking
which
hell.
happened was Johnny actually come out and said, Amber Heard did this. Would she have been dropped from her roles?
Yeah,
in
that's why
movies
he's
and
taking
that
her to court for this, because
and the funny thing
it's
is, this has been happening for years, and she still got roles. She still appeared in Aquaman while this was happening. People apparently boycotting the film, and they've apparently had over 2 million signatures or something to get her removed from the film.
If she loses this case, she's done for.
Oh, she's gonna lose this case. She's fucked.
She already lost it.
So who knows what's gonna happen after this case goes through? I wouldn't.
She is going to be out of pocket millions of dollars. Because how much has he lost from Pirates of the Caribbean?
Oh, exactly. And every other job he's had.
Isn't it for 100 million?
He got shafted by Harry Potter.
Yeah, I think
he got shafted by all kinds of things.
That's a lot of money.
She wouldn't even have that, I don't think, to be fair.
No.
That's the point. That's the point, though. It's I had the bug over on my screen. Came to you.
I really don't think Johnny cares about the money.
No, it's just
well, he's a
right
fucking.
thing.
He wants to prove himself that he did nothing wrong, and then he also wants to set an example for one, and then he wants to destroy her because of what she's done to him.
Well, not destroy, but just clarify everything. Really,
that's all he wants to do is clear up the point. It's just there happens to be at the end if someone wins, there's a payout.
Because he's not malicious. Like he's not malicious at all.
No.
Nah.
So there it is. It's my end. Did you see it?
That was weird as fuck.
He just wants the outcome to be over because he's done with it. Everyone else is done with it.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. He just wants to clear his name, get back to doing things, and move on.
I'm pretty sure his name's already cleared after all this. So.
People already have been, but it's just legal. I mean, it was in a weird legal spot.
Just they've burnt bridges that he won't go back.
Cool, his defamation. See, once he clears this up, because he couldn't, because he tried taking news articles to court for these things and he couldn't. So I think as well, if he clears his name up with this defamation case, he'll be able to fold on every other one. So he can clear his name up, and people can't keep making money off of him. Basically, what it comes down to is people can't keep making money off him by giving him a bad reputation. Because that's what they're doing. They're going, oh, this is happening, and this, making up all these false articles. This will help clear him up, so they can't make false articles on his name, and ruin his legacy. Basically,
look at Kyle Rittenhouse, that bloke that shot those people in America. He got proven innocent, and now he's doing class actions against the articles that were published against him because
they're spreading misinformation.
Exactly,
that's right. Yeah, exactly.
That's what it's coming down to. So, and they're making money off misinformation. So that's the biggest issue. It's like, why are you able to make all this money off bullshit
why
stories?
are you profiting off my heartache? Virtually, yeah.
That's crazy.
Good on him. He's not 100% innocent. You can tell that by the trial, but he hasn't hid anything.
Oh,
either.
no. He's been open about everything.
There and copping that he did drugs. He is
but he never harmed her.
He got He got mad with cabinets. He freaking did. He said he was a drug addict, but he even explained I was a drug addict, and then trying to get him in. It's like, would you get? No. He's like, no, I would never do that again. I've been down that hole. It's not happening again. Once you go down that hole again, you're screwed.
The whole setting him up with the ice cream, that is literally, that's just malicious in itself, where your intent is to make him look like a fucking pisshead.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And he even said that, he's like, she gave it to me because she knew I was going to pass out.
Exactly.
So I've been drinking. And then the lawyer's like, so you were drinking heavily? And he's like, and you were drinking pretty heavily that night. He's like, you were there?
Objection. Objection. Hearsay.
What about when he slams the cupboards and the dude goes, "You poured yourself a mega pint." He's like, "Mega pint."
Mega pint.
I mean, he did say mega pint, but you're gonna put some mega
what
pint.
the fuck's a mega pint? It's just a little glass. It's just a little. I don't get what they're fucking. They're just trying to make him look bad, even though he's not.
Yeah, exactly.
A mega pint, because that in writing is bad.
A schooner.
A pint.
They're way bigger than what he had.
That's what I mean. What are you getting at?
He just had a basic little wine glass.
He just happened to fill up a wine glass full, not half full. He wanted to have a nice glass of wine.
Actually, what's that? There's a show. It's like the Jerry Springer show, but I think it's in the UK.
Maury?
No.
Can't remember the name of it. But anyway, the bloke was on the show, and he's like, "Oh, I had to jump from the second story window because she was trying to beat me up and hit me and all this stuff." And the audience laughed, and he's like, no, I'll fucking tell you what, don't laugh, because if this was a female sitting on the couch saying that she had to jump from the second story because her partner, her husband or whatever, was beating her up, you'd all be sitting there shaming him for what he's done.
Yeah, exactly.
He literally pulls the crowd into line. Yeah,
exactly, because it is, and that's what that video you were saying. I watched John what's his name, John Moss, Mossley or whatever his name is on TikTok, he's on YouTube and stuff, and he broke that down where same situation. He said he was with some friends when he was younger, and they were all girls and stuff like that. And there was an altercation where a guy was stuck in his car, and his missus was breaking his windows, breaking this dude's window with a hammer. And everyone's laughing at it, going, "Oh, he must be cheating. He must have done something stupid or something like that." And he was saying, "That's just a shock. That man's in danger. He's being assaulted. Why is no one doing anything?" And it's true. Why is it fine when it's not fine, but it's shunned upon. Well, yes, it's shunned upon when a guy's doing it to a girl, but when a girl's doing it to a guy, it's hilarious. It's the same situation.
Yeah,
it's no different. It's still abuse. It's still in the sense of someone actually trying to harm someone. You know, it's a, I don't know. And then there's someone slapping someone in the face because someone says something dirty.
Yeah.
And apparently that's domestic abuse as well.
No, only if it's like this.
That's just a bit of a
discipline.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. That's what still gets me. It's so many people are on that thing going, "Oh no, he abused him." He just no, he walked up, slapped him in the face, and walked away.
It should be a fine. That's bad.
Abuse would be going.
He shouldn't have got his award. I 100%.
He should have. He himself should have been at the point.
He earned that.
I think he
Yeah, but
probably won't get
he
back.
also blew it. He's a celebrity profile.
Like,
He's a role model for up and comers.
yeah.
Yeah.
If I was in that situation,
Still,
which
he's
I
only
feel like if
human.
I was in that situation, I had a snap like that, and I went into my acceptance speech, I would have accepted and said, okay, honestly, I realize this is what happened. Apologize to everyone. I'm actually going to I'm giving this back. Like, I wouldn't have taken the award.
Yeah.
I would have, like, not if you're not feeling like you're going to apologize to Chris, at least give up your award and say, actually, I don't deserve this for being the best, like, for what I've done. And then if they go, no, you can keep it, then okay, I'll keep it. But like,
Well,
you
they
gotta
could have
be
took it away from him. So
yeah, he should have
so.
handed it over himself. He shouldn't have just accepted the award.
The worst
after
bit
being
was
a bit wrong.
he was setting an example for an average person to walk up on stage because a comic's having a go at you.
Yeah.
Which happens every fucking comedy show ever.
Right.
That's what he's doing. He's like setting an example where it's alright to walk up and slap a comedian.
Yeah, but he just who knows what the fuck was going through his head though.
He's been going through a lot of shit.
She's fucked him over that much, and
He's still not a bad person. He just made a mistake.
Exactly. I get that. Like
a breakdown. But that's the thing. This wasn't abuse. This is a mental.
It can happen to anyone.
This was literally a mental snap. Like, that's the difference too. Like, he didn't just abuse someone. He literally had a mental snap. And there's other stuff. Well, it kind of seemed a bit sus because, like, if you watch the pre-take stuff before the Oscars happen, and you look at a lot of his posts beforehand, they're very cryptic. It seemed a bit cryptic that everything he posted, which seemed a bit sus that to the lead up to this, where it wasn't in, like, it may not have been fully scripted, but like he himself was in the frame of mind that he was kind of broken already, like he was like already on.
Yeah, well, he already said that.
Yeah, well, she cheated on him and shit and fucking all that.
But like
that
day
shit.
alone, he was ready to go. Like he was, because like that you can have built up like anger and tension for days, but like sometimes it takes more. That day had to be a shit day to really push you over the line,
But he had no remorse because as soon as he sat back down, you're in like what there would have been 3,000 people there or more, 10,000, whatever's there. He would have sat down and been like, "I'm not. This is going around the globe. I've literally fucked
you can
up."
See
it'd be like that. But he had no remorse. He was so
angry, and that's why he was so angry still, because you could see he made a fool of himself. He realized he got up, done that, and then he's like, "Fuck!" And you can see it in his face. And then he's like, even more angry because he's angry at himself that he's going to even project even more out onto him. And he goes, "Keep my wife's name out." That whole thing. You can see it because he's realized what he's done. Fuck! I've done this. I now have to commit to this. Because I've made this hate.
And then he won the award.
It's the whole cycle in itself. He should have just done nothing, but he got so like caught up in that moment that it just kept in a build-up cycle, and then he just let out even more and made more of a scene on top of it. And I know how that feels like, because you have those moments where I've been through that, and like you had that breakdown, and you just get so angry.
Think of the outcome.
And you realize after the outcome, you've done something. You realize, fuck, this has happened, but then you're still caught in the moment, and it's that feeling of embarrassment. But a cycle, and you just can't control it because you're still in that loop, and then you still have that outburst, and then you finally feel, and it finally crashes after it because it's so direct after it that you're still on that high. And,
especially after he won the award, and I think once he won the award, he's like, "Fuck, this is gonna go back on the Williams sisters." Because of that, the Williams sisters got dragged through the mud as well and shit. And, but he's been.
Well, it's all over now, so.
Well, that's actually, it's kind of funny that it all come off done. That's why it still seems a bit weird that it was there when because like I said, if that never happened, I wouldn't even thought of the Oscars. I wouldn't even been looking into it. Nothing.
Nah, and that's the thing, because they were on the decline. That's why people are like, "Is this set up? Was he paid a lot of money to?"
But no, he's banned for 10 years, so that's not fake.
I still feel like the Oscars is going to be done in the next couple of years. There's going to be no more Oscars.
I mean, he can still win, but he just can't be there to accept it.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. I don't think the Oscars is going to really exist anymore. It's kind of becoming a decline.
It'll be like, it's
going to cancel like E3.
They'll send you stuff to you. You just won't be there in person.
Because it's a dying medium. Like back in the day, it was a big thing because ceremonies were happening because of how unique movies were. Now movies are so mainstream. They're completely everywhere. Like there's no need for the performance.
So you got the internet. Back then there wasn't.
Is it the good one, or is the Golden Globe the one they want?
Golden Globe, I think it is. The Logies was ours. The Logies was the Australian one, and that died off. I think that's kind of still around, or is it done?
I mean, it's still it's not as big, but yeah.
And then the Oscars is kind of like that. The Oscars was definitely the more dramatized one, which is funny.
That's for every.
There was a performance at the Oscars. Like that was the whole point. The Oscars was that whole that was the real drama performance kind of award shows. Like that's what the Oscars were originally. They were like,
That's what made you an actor, wasn't
Days
like
of
a
Your
good actor
Lives.
was
It felt like
doing
Days of Your Lives, Young and the Restless. You think of that kind of drama shows. Like that's what the Oscars was like. The Golden Girls. Like it was that kind of era of things. And that's what the Oscars were. It was that era of getting awards, and that kind of changed where the Golden Globe was all like that's a proper actors kind of thing. That's for whatever you did. Where you were a comedian acting, best directing. Like that's what that Golden Globe was for.
It's changed now. The fact, like, say, The Rock can produce like 8 movies a year. He's got a fucking fair chance of winning, and compared to someone that does 1 or 2 movies a year.
Yeah, and the Golden Globe's meant to be more balanced. Like it includes everyone. So there's indie director, anyone can be involved with the Golden Globes, but Oscars is very direct, and that's why I feel like it definitely is an incline because people are like, I've got my Golden Oscars and Globes and
same people over and over.
And it's always the same, exactly it. So that's why the Oscars were saying that big jokes have always been it's been very white, as well as Oscars have always been very white because you think about it that's all it was. It was white actors, like it was very racial, like that's how it was. Yeah, so
that's true.
That's why that's why these the black comedians make these jokes about white people. The whole white joke. It's always that racial thing because it's always it was very racist. Yeah, racial.
Racist.
Racist. But
how long have we been recording for nowadays?
I think we should be able to wrap it up. I think because I did have this recording a little bit beforehand, about 20 minutes before you jumped on. So I think we're just over. So I think we can. Well, I think we've gone through a fair bit this episode. We've had a good little topic talk, and I think
it fucking twisted off, ran away for a little bit.
I mean, we could keep going, but I think it is actually a good time to wrap up.
I have noticed your viewers and like that have been better for the shorter runs.
Because people, I think, definitely get that scare. You go, oh, that's 3 hours. Or oh, maybe not. Oh, that's why I feel too. It's like you get that look and you're like, oh, maybe I'll watch that, maybe not.
Because a lot of people are like, I've got an hour to drive. I'll listen to the Beardy Bros podcast,
and that's what we always say too. Is like you could just listen for us for like that. You don't have to listen to the whole hour and a half or 2. Like that's why I'm always big for is like you don't have to listen to the whole thing, but people definitely have that the conception in their mind that you have to listen to the whole podcast.
Yeah, I think people look at it and go, "Oh, that's good." Like, I want to listen to the whole thing. I don't want to miss out on something, but I don't have 3 hours to sit there and listen to something.
Yeah, and that's why I'm always fine. Like, I always try to say, it's like, hey, you can just listen for an hour, and if you want to come back to the episode, come back and listen to it, or listen to that thing we're talking about before we change subject. And but people go, I get hooked and I get caught, and I want to keep listening, but I need to go do something else. That's fine. You can pause it. We're not going anywhere. We're recording. You're fine. But yeah.
Until we are live 24/7.
When's the next fucking live Beardy Bros fucking?
I don't know. It's one of those special occasions.
Probably a showcase thing, maybe like a big event.
So we're doing every 10th episode is live on Twitch.
Oh yeah, not bad.
So it's a fair while.
So if you didn't realise by now by watching this episode, you should see it there sitting behind him. He's got the Bogan Yack Podcast. Nice
Bogan Yack Podcast.
Nice cut out piece of wood.
Yep, it's probably pulling my wall over. It's fucking pretty heavy.
I imagine. But yeah, so
so that's why it's leaning. No. It's like just falls behind you.
And then so as always, we will give it to Jim, I think, to wrap it up. But
before that, I got to think about COD.
Oh, he's got some sneaky
about
news.
Cheaters.
Yep.
Cheaters.
There was a thing implemented in COD where cheaters can't see players who aren't cheating, but the players can see the cheaters.
Oh, and nice.
That's free kills, man.
Oh, that's good. If you're going to cheat, good. You're giving yourself
That's a good way to do it.
That's the way it should be. That's what it should be.
Them.
Is that you can't see other players, but the cheaters are being targeted, so there's icons or highlighted out, so it's giving the players beneficial help. And then they get some rid of out of the game unless they've.
So if you play COD and you get like a dude who's not even looking at you, but they're not shooting. That's a cheater. That's crazy,
especially
man.
In Warzone and shit, I get fucking clapped that much.
Well,
like, how? Like
Warzone 2's out this year, so
is it? Shit.
Running on the new Modern Warfare 2 engine and that, so it should be better than. It should have all these implemented from the start.
Yep.
So hopefully that happens. So
I just want a battle royale where everyone's got the same health.
Yeah, it's all.
You know what I mean? I know we,
Fortnite?
I know now, I know we
No, I know
do.
what you mean.
But
It's like
Same health.
set
I'll
basics.
shoot
There's
someone
no.
700 times and they won't die. They'll just turn around. They're like, and I'm dead. I'm like,
That's
we
just
have
a
the
gun,
same
though.
shields and
Basically,
shit.
what it needs is it needs to be either you have all shields or you have no shields. Like everyone's straight from the start, even fair.
Yeah,
Then there's
yeah.
all the guns. Like it's maybe the one type of gun where
Guns
it's
should
the
be the
one
same
gun,
power, though.
or that's what I'm saying. Like it should be the one gun of everything. So it's just the one gun even. Everyone just has the one gun. So it's like laser tag, I guess, and then it's just battle royale laser tag. So everyone's completely equal, and it only comes down to then skill. So if you're getting
Yeah.
clapped, that means you're bad. You know.
Yeah. Or like a gun game battle royale would be cool. So you get a kill, you progress to the next
Yeah.
level. And
But that one's worse because you got the fucking rocket launcher against a fucking knife.
yeah, but it comes down to being just shit. Like
So
if
remember
you're,
those gun games? Like sometimes you can be good, next game you can be bad. Like
That'd be actually kind of funny. You got this one dude that's been camping the whole game, and then you got this one dude that's going around getting kills, and he's at the final thing where he's just got the knife, and the dude's at the start where he hasn't got any kills, and he's got the pistol or something. He's just like, haha, knife, gun. It's like, who's gonna win? And the dude's just like,
that's a good point.
and he just jabs him, and he's like, ah, because the dude's a bad shot, and he's just
I
fucking bang,
remember-
bang, bang.
I remember playing that, and if you are that good and you're on the knife, you just get fucked up because someone's got a gun. Like
Yeah,
you
that's
can't get near them. So it's like
When
even
they
if you are
brought that
good, you
fucking
can't
shit
win.
hammer in on Black Ops 4, you'd be like running and then you'd swing the hammer back and you'd go to hit it and it's like
and you
you're
go, boom,
dead, and you're like, I can't even fucking swing the
Yeah, you
hammer.
just swing it there.
right? Oh well, I mean it happens.
Yeah,
Oh, there has to be a variety of guns, otherwise it's just boring.
Yeah, it gets a bit boring.
but
that's true.
yes.
But on that, I just had to put that in there.
Well, I'll say just before he wraps up, I think that's it. Definitely it. That's the last of it.
There was a Fast 10 thing, but it's only that Justin Lin stepped down as director.
That's alright.
Fast Furious.
Fast 10. Your seatbelts.
That's what war's gonna be like. Did you see that meme?
What?
It's like
Oh, God.
fucking World War One, World War Two, World War Tokyo Drift, then World War, World at War, and then War, and I was like, right.
Go on. Yeah, no.
What
Anyway,
a war.
yeah, we'll
Zombies,
just-
man.
I was gonna plug stuff, but that's alright. We don't need to plug anything.
Plug it. Plug the merch.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, check out the merch as always up on the Redbubble. Look up on the Redbubble, PickleTube TV, and you'll find all the Beardy Bros merch up there. Even you can just search in Beardy Bros, and you'll be able to find the merch. Always have the links up in the descriptions usually. So
No shirt or anywhere.
no, he doesn't have any laying around. I don't
Shit.
know where most of mine are gone. But yeah, no, definitely check out the merch. I've got to try and get onto some new designs there, and hopefully get some new merch up. I don't know what I could do. Maybe do a weird collab designs. Who knows? Maybe Judde might appear on a shirt again. Secret DLC character.
Bonus feature.
Bonus
That
feature.
was pretty cool.
The one.
Yeah, it's just funny watching Juddy's logo there. Like, look.
That was fun making that. But yeah, there's different promotions on Redbubble at the moment, so definitely check it out for different stuff. So designs are on books and shirts, stickers, coasters, mugs, cups.
They've also got
shower
afterpay
curtains.
now, so
Yes.
And their shipping's actually pretty quick. Redbubble
Yeah.
is pretty good.
I hate that I no longer have afterpay now that they've implemented
Right.
afterpay. I could be just
Afterpay
buying
is
merch and giving
scam.
them out to people as gifts. So,
mm-hmm.
but now I've got to try and buy them with cash.
Ugh.
Directly. I don't have enough money.
Doesn't
to do
feel as
that.
cheap.
Yeah. That's
I
basically it.
love Afterpay. It's like, oh, that's so cheap.
Yeah, but it's
$3
also
a week.
you can rack it up so quick, and there's like it's not really
Oh,
cheap.
it's the first tomorrow. I'll be able to
Yeah.
message Afterpay again on the first of the month and say, hey, thanks for not renewing my give me back my Afterpay. I just keep messaging them every start of the month. I keep messaging Afterpay.
What
What
are
did they
you
get?
making?
Being
They
like-
went off ya?
Yeah, because I was late on making payments and it
Ah,
got too
yeah,
long, and I paid them all back, but because it
I
dragged
mean,
on for so
the
long.
funny thing was, you told me nothing would happen, and then just
Well,
like
I figured
boom.
nothing would happen, and then it happened. I'm like, for fuck's sake! So every first day of the month now, I message them going, "Hey, just checking to see if I can have my account back." So I just message them all the time now. Just fuck with them and just fucking harass them. Fuck it, you know. You're getting paid for this shit. You can deal with it. Me just
Well,
message
you already
them.
paid your bills, so why not?
Yeah. So I don't know. But anyway, give it to you, Jim, to wrap us up, and we can go play some
Yes.
Fortnite.
Fortnite.
Yes, on that, thank you, Beardies and Beardettes, for joining us on episode 18 of I better say Bogan Yack for a minute. I was just
Yeah,
reading
you
it from
were.
Judde's head.
Dude, this season 3 is now legal.
I better say Bogan Bros.
Bogan, hey, the Bogan Bros.
The Beardy Bros Podcast featuring Judde.
Yep.
Wherever he is, I don't know where he is. We have been Dow Jim and Judde. We'll catch you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And don't forget to pour yourself a
Oh.
mega pint.
Hearsay.
Mega pint. This way he said it, he put a big smile like, Mega pint.
Yeah.